What's going on, y'all? There is a hidden process behind every single personnel NFL player decision that every NFL team makes. We are going to get into that and more on the Post Podium Podcast tonight. Let's go.
Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and hit and miss. About the Bills, dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes, and voice of the critically thinking fan on the Built in Buffalo Network. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Hey, the same guy, 40 Keys. What's up with y'all?
J Ham said, I'm waiting. I know, bro. I know. I got a response coming. I promise. I started to text it and I had to jump in here and get everything ready. So
like,
yeah.
I'm waiting. Anxiously awaiting your rebuttal.
Right. What's going on, Sandra? All right. We're going to start off how we always start off, bro.
Yeah.
How was your week that was and your weekend?
Well, week was short.
Short?
What a weekend was short. As always,
I believe it.
Yeah.
It felt like one of them kind of weekends.
It always is. The week was all right.
Okay.
No sleep as usual. You know, players like to keep you busy. But yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny story of that.
Yeah. Waving boy.
We can attribute this to Mama Ham.
Mama Ham?
Yeah, we had a conversation. And I can't wait for the text message. I didn't say that.
She said you was always wearing hats.
She said, I could tell you getting comfortable. You always wearing hats and you just basically you let yourself go. I said, damn.
Wow.
She didn't say it like that, but ain't that hey. Black mamas don't hold no punches.
Yeah, they don't sugarcoat.
And they be like, I didn't even mean that. That was never said. Yes, it was, Mom. We'll talk later. But yeah, so I said, all right, I said, you know what? She said, what's with the hat? I said, I don't want to cut my hair. I don't want to shave. I just, whatever. And that's what elicited. Yeah, I can tell you always wear the hats, your little rag under there. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. But thank you.
It's fair. Yeah,
but
Sanke.
I had to change it up for. I was like, oh, okay, fine. You win. Let's see how long it goes. Because I haven't put a razor and cream on in a while. I haven't done that yet.
Wow.
This is just no. I didn't do the razor and cream. I'm rebelling against that.
Yeah, I can't. I get bumps.
I don't get bumps. It just grows back too fast, and I just don't like it.
My barber teacher used to call my beard, he would call it a dirty bark beard because my hair is so thick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had, like when I was in barber school, like they like we would have to let other students practice on, like we would practice on each other, right? Yeah. And whenever they would cut, like the clippers always pull for some reason. Like they're never sharp enough to cut my beard. So like I have to tune my trimmers to cut because it's so thick.
Right.
So for me, like remember when I used to work security?
Mm-hmm.
I used to have beef, like literal beef with the people in the office.
I know.
Because you got to be clean shaven. The only thing you can have is a mustache.
Yeah.
Sideburns can't be below. And every single time I would try to, make it look smooth so I ain't had no shadow or nothing like that. Bump, like all over the place, bro. It's nuts.
That's that. What's that? The black and blue they used to use or whatever it is.
Even with the alcohol too. Like it ain't dirt. It's just the way my hair is, the way it curls and all that kind of stuff is just bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Some people can't do it.
That's why it comes in the way it does, nice and full. Mine don't do that.
Stop.
Mine don't do that. I can let it go.
No,
it's gonna be long and scraggly.
Me.
It's long and scraggly. It's just a mess.
I can't get no waves.
It's all right.
So I mean, you got that on lock.
I try. I try.
Weston, get out of here, bro.
He just put the island with the kaboom fireworks.
He beat me to the punch today. He got in before I was able to get the calling line up there. So now I can't even have that as the first thing. You got to go see Weston's comment up there about Brandon Bean.
Kaboom.
Mick Master Bean. Yeah, I don't even get that one. Mick Master Bean. Where you getting Mick from? You still playing
Mick
on
gone.
Sean McDermott?
Yeah, he gone.
I guess.
Mick gone.
I guess.
I don't know where that's about. He over there wearing oversized New Balances over in L.A. with McVay. I was like, my attention went down to his shoes. I said, why his feet look so big?
That's gonna hurt, bro.
But it was extra in the back. Yeah, that would be weird.
That's gonna hurt.
That'd be weird. Senior advisor of the Rams. Then he gets his own team and like he starts doing that. You're like, no.
That's gonna hurt.
No.
I always like towards the end, because I know for many, many years before we really started finding out the truth about, what was going on between McDermott and Bean,
mm-hmm.
you and I both thought like it's the coach. Get us behind that, and then you transitioned before I did. Like you started on like
wait a minute,
right. And it took me a minute to come around because I remember there was a few episodes of me and you go back and forth about Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott and whose fault it was and all that kind of stuff. But it's really. And I know people are tired of hearing about Sean McDermott. But he's relevant again.
It depends on the context.
Yes,
you got to say the name. He was just our coach.
Yes,
you can't say you guys can't. We have to. What are we comparing it to?
Right.
No, nothing.
Right.
Neverland, because you got to compare Brady to McDermott, whether you like it or not. It has to happen.
Yeah. So how was the rest of your weekend?
Well,
forgive me for interrupting.
This is a funny thing. This is how you know I'm no good to anybody. When I'm going on with the same theme of my mom talking about you getting too comfortable.
Okay.
I decided let me iron my clothes to go to the chalk fest on Saturday.
He irons his jeans too, by the way.
I do. Yeah, it's true. I even iron my hoodie sometimes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just fold mine fresh out the dryer and then or I hang them up. I
gotta go. Gotta get it all in there. But no, so I'm up and it's we're trying to get moving and all this and I iron and my dumb self decides, you know what? Let me unplug the iron, let it cool off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I leaned over the iron and it caught me right here. And it's funny because the day when I was first up to come to the show, I looked at my arms and I was like, you can tell. I was like, oh. But the funny story is I got the matching one here. Where is it? Right here. That's from the oven. I was cooking and the door came back up on me. Yeah. So this is about 2 months ago, but
jeez,
yeah. So I am no good to anything or anybody. I need to go be committed now. At 42, my life is done. Yes, use starch. SDB, of course. I used to. When I was in office, I used to use starch. Yes.
Figured.
Yes.
I did. I figured that. Yeah.
And you know what else? I got the little things that go into your shirts. The little in your collar. Those little, when you buy a dress shirt and it has like the little plastic piece in there that keeps your collar.
Yeah.
For one Father's Day, T bought me the metal ones, and they were all engraved. I have a little case of metal ones. I used to slide in there. Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Actually.
It was like Happy Father's Day.
Collar shirts and all that.
Oh yeah,
that's nice.
It was nice.
Wow.
I still got it. I don't need them all like that anymore because we don't go to the office. But at the time, Samantha, don't think differently of me.
It does age him a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
Like let's talk about it.
Collar stays. That's what it's called. Yeah, just Walter. Yes.
We are literally a month apart, but you are much older than me in every way.
This is true. This is true. And I accept that.
Oh my gosh. All right. So where do you want to go from here? My weekend
about yours.
My weekend, it flew by. Like I guess the good part was I was able to get done working by like 7:00 on Saturday.
Yeah.
And my wife's aunt had a birthday party at our house. Our house. So I was able to get home in time to sing happy birthday there. That was really nice. But after I was just tired. Like, coming home throughout the week, I had to, make sure all the grass is cut and looking nice and all that kind of stuff and moving stuff around the house and all that. Like it was just a lot. It was a lot. And Caitlin was in get the house ready for a party mode. So
and you're like,
right. Nah. So I'm trying to wind down from the work week and all that kind of stuff. And she's still moving. It's like my brain is like, okay, she gonna ask me for something, so just stay ready. She just moving around the house. I'm just watching her go back and forth. Oh
and she's still like, why isn't he asking me for help? Why isn't he asking me what he can do? Get your ass up.
Nah, I mean there wasn't a ton that needed to be done. It's but when you work 8 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, But anyway, it went by quick. Sunday was very relaxing. We watched. What did we watch? We watched Coraline at the end of the night. Had a little family night. My daughter loves that movie. She's like Tim Burton She's a big Tim Burton fan.
Okay.
Loves a lot of those type of movies. Loves scary stuff in general, like the Wednesday Addams show that's on Netflix. So we watched Coraline, but we just maxed out. We played Rivals again. You know, we texted Junie, got Junie on the Roblox Rivals, and got that cracking for a few rounds. So, but again, this is much needed, right? For me in terms of being able to be home Saturday night and then pretty much all day aside from service Sunday morning, be home all day on Sunday, right? So. I mean, that was really the highlight of my
win.
The whole rest of the week, though, is plugging away.
I watched the inside of my eyelids yesterday. I tried.
Yeah,
I always try.
What okay? So give us an average on Sundays of the time you usually wake up, because my line right now for you is probably about 3 o'clock.
1:30, 2 o'clock.
Wow, I knew it. Yeah. I knew it.
That's the day I sleep.
Close.
That's the day I sleep. Sunday is it, and then by about 5 o'clock, I'm ready to go back.
That's it.
I'll be in a position so TK said like, you sleep? Nah. I heard you snort. No, you didn't. I got sleep apnea. I wasn't sleeping though. I got yeah.
Because how dare you sleep when we up?
I'm like,
T don't play that.
You like
and y'all got them big comfy couches too. So yep, exactly. All right, enough of this personal stuff. We have so much to get to, and we started with the big news last week. Let's start with the big news this week.
Well, I had a question for you before you did.
Sure.
And I want you guys to answer this too, because this is not football related, but I didn't know he was going to cut me right there. I had a thought on Saturday. Now, you know how, black culture, vernacular is what it is. Why is it that people ask how your mama doing all the time? You ever notice that? Like they just walk, how you everything, the family, how your mama doing? My mama, what is mama?
You got to train them not to do it.
They just like, what? You can't. Like in Buffalo, inner city Buffalo, they gonna do that. It's like they know your mama or they used to date your mama, not my mama, but and they're like, well, yes, my mama. See, I go back further because when I was 19 years old, my grandfather moved to Georgia, and he would call if I'd answer the phone, and he'd be like, blah, 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 blah. We have a 5 to 7 minute conversation. Let me holler at your mama. Okay, fine. Get up on my mama. He gonna proceed to ask her how I'm doing. He just got off the phone with me. We just talked. How my grandboy doing?
How my grandboy
doing? I saw it right. And he did just laugh. I knew it. But did y'all ever pick this up? I mean, I don't know if you're white, maybe it happens too, but I know in the black culture, how your mama doing?
But isn't that like an older people thing?
Yeah,
like people older than us.
Yeah.
I think that what's the generation? The boomer is. I think
might be boomers.
I think it's a boomer thing.
That's when everybody was,
because nobody my age asked that.
Yeah. See, Sinke said like they legit know your mom personally. He said,
yeah.
I legit went to the store. A lady said, "What's your mama name?" I'm like, not from here. No way you know her. That's like the thing to know how your mama doing. Like, yeah. And like the first thing you do is you answer because you're like, oh yeah, she good. I don't even know how you know mama. I don't even know if you ever met mama. I don't know what you know about her, but whatever.
No, so, you know what though? I think the black culture here in this country is so tight knit because we don't connect with any other black community anywhere outside the country. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't go to Kenya and just be rocking with them. Like, nah, they ain't happening.
How your mama doing?
Right. So like here, like literally here, like everybody, I might know somebody that knows somebody that know your mama. We might be connected in some way. Like I think that's really cool in that way. But I get what you're saying. Like, yo, stop asking about my mom, bro.
Right.
Like, why
Should
you
I be concerned? Why do you care?
That's what I'm saying.
You want to date her?
That's what I be taking it as.
Like, watch out, family.
Especially if it's a guy. Oh, yeah. How's your mom? Don't ask me about my mom, bro.
She's taken somehow, even if she's not. She's taken.
My mama's very single, by the way,
and she's still taken.
She's still taken. That's right. Don't even mention her name in my presence.
Don't do that.
Unless I know you know her.
Hey D, how your mama doing? I mean, because you asked about Camp. We're not there yet. But anyway.
anything to piss off a Giants fan now because it's rivalry time.
Whatever. Okay, fine. You want to get to the boringness of the show? We'll talk about football. Yeah, that's what you want to talk about. Football. Yeah. Hey, what you got in your head?
I keep forgetting to turn these sounds back up. All right. So I mean, look, how tired are you of hearing how good DJ Moore looks in camp?
I'm very tired. You know what? I'm very tired of hearing about camp. The only reason I say that is because when they're talking about an hour and a half, they're talking about this, and I sit back and I think, I'm like, okay, you see what they're doing. They're not really doing anything pressing. They're not really doing a lot of installs. They're mostly just doing it. It's like a show a Stargate.
Yes.
It's like a showcase for the fans. It's not really serving a real purpose per se.
Yep.
So, you know, people, I learned this at camp. I learned that at camp. This happened at camp. I don't care because it's 8:30 for one. You know, me getting up 8:30 to go way out there I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
My body will fall apart. So on top of that, you know, going out there to see Josh Allen lobbing stuff over to the corner of Dalton Kincaid and DJ Moore and Skylar Bills and stuff like that. It's like, okay, it's cool to see him out there in the jersey or whatever the case may be, but I'm not learning anything because I don't want to. Because anything you see out there, it's superficial. You know, when you look at the linemen, how do you judge a lineman with no pads on? You know, oh yeah, Leonard, he's out there. We can't do that. You know, there were back in days when they told Jerry Hughes, you're not practicing today because he didn't know how to tone it down.
I appreciate that Leonard said that though. Yeah. Like, I can't. I mean, the corners, safeties, you know, linebackers, even linebackers, you know, but
like 7-on-7 is as far as it's going to go.
Yeah.
You know, when you're looking at Alec Anderson with Deion, I don't care.
Right.
You know, because it doesn't mean anything. Corbett might win the job. You know, SVPG actually went to the right guard spot at one point, I think they said. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I appreciate them putting it on for the fans. I appreciate, you know, an hour and a half, but in my mind, I'm like, that hour and a half should be 2 hours, 3 hours of installs of, you know, I know they're having meetings and stuff like that, but it's just when you put the pads on and I can really react to how Deion Dawkins passes off Landon Jackson or whoever it is. I can react to how Connor McGovern snaps and then sets, right? You know, I can react to these things. Mm-hmm. But so far, I guess before today, it definitely wasn't happening. Right. And today, I guess a little bit, but they're not going to try to hurt each other anyway. Yeah. So it's cool, but like to your point, you know, they show DJ Moore. We finally have a number one receiver. DJ Moore now is getting 140 targets, blanket. Like, okay, relax.
Right. So here's why I even said that. To me, I think it defeats the purpose of camp updates if we're talking about all of the biggest names with that much focus and excitement. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have fun talking about what's going on at camp, but I think that kind of stuff needs to be like, let the fans post that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's completely different if me, you know, Aramis, the fan, is hearing that from, you know, Keys, who went to the camp and liked what he saw and posted it on Facebook. Like, that's cool. But for that to be what the actual, you know, reporters and analysts and guys that cover the team, to be out there, hey, DJ Moore, let's go. No, duh. He's the best receiver on the team. I mean, it would be better news and more to talk about if he didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Daquan just said that. It would be more new. It looked bad if it was never, and it was never. It would be different if DJ Moore looked bad. It'd be a never-ending story, is what he said.
Right. Yeah. So here's what I would suggest. Right, because I don't want to just like point out stuff just to pick at me. I don't want to be nitpicky.
Right.
Right. What I would suggest is let's go deeper into the depth chart and look at those guys' performance. Like the stuff about Caleb Elam-Zor. Like, I'm all for that. Right. He's got an opportunity now. Like, what is he being asked to do? You know what I mean? What kind of plays is he in on? What do you see him doing structurally within a play that or what have you seen him do in college that looks like what he's doing now, so that we can get an idea of exactly how much experience he has doing what he's being asked to do for the Bills, right? Stuff like that gives you a much better picture as to where the team is. Right. I don't just want to hear about the highlights. I want to hear the nitty-gritty. And I get that there's an aspect of this that, you know, every NFL team is going to hide behind from the standpoint of, well, we don't want to give our competitors anything. That you don't have to. You telling me about a rookie linebacker you drafted and how what he's being asked to do here correlates with what he was asked to do in college is not going to give any other NFL team anything that they don't already have through their scouting department.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. Talk to me more about IGB. Right. If he's struggling, tell me how he's struggling. Why do you think he's struggling? What is it about what he's being asked to do that's causing him to struggle? Let's talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah. And not from the standpoint of we want to make IGB look bad, but Bills fans care. Yeah, I think that's the gotcha for, like shouts and Buffalo Pluses and things like that. They don't want their credentials snatched, so they can't tell you anything. And I can't stand, I can't say this, but I can do that. I don't care then. That's when, when you start watching, what's it called? Rock Power Reports and talking Buffaloes and things like that go, but nobody can censor them. Yeah. What did you see? You're a fan telling me what you saw. You saw IGB out there, he said he had a rough practice or whatever the case may be, but how? I can't tell you that, but I know he was having a rough go against blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Yeah. But in what context? Was it 7-on-7? Was it 11-on-11? Who was the safety? Who was and they can't tell you that stuff. Yeah. So it's like, you're telling me that they aren't doing so hot, but now what? What do I do with this information? Right. In comparison to who? In comparison to what? He said that there's no competition at CB2, which is what I've heard from Talking Buffalo. He said Max Harrison is getting all the first team reps unless they're getting subbed out for a breather or something like that. But and then you hear Jim Leonard talk about Max Harrison and saying he's like the epitome of man coverage. He's got the instincts, he's got the ball skills, blah, blah, blah. And Leonard loves this dude from what we hear. Yeah. But he also drafted IGB. So it's like, did you not vet Max Harrison before you wanted IGB? Did you want IGB really to be depth? Is the media overblowing this thing because of, a second round draft pick, which I lean towards? I think more so that is Harrison and Benford's jobs until one of them gets hurt or, until something happens. Yeah. But the hype machine, they're like, okay, Max Harrison's too small. He's really not that small. He's smaller, but he's not like definitely, 170 pounds or something like that at 5'11". That's not tiny. No. IGB just happens to be 6'1", 6'2". Yeah. But 5'11" is fine. 185 pounds with that kind of speed, with that kind of ball skill, you're going to like it. Yep. Especially if he wants to tackle, which he does. They point to him in college. What was his injury when he was a junior, senior in college? He had a shoulder infection. It wasn't anything wrong, like structurally, he had an infection. So you're not going to be able to tackle. Mm-hmm. So that gives the illusion that this guy can't tackle. But go watch earlier film, earlier tape. That's why you got to do the math. Right. And Daquan said Max 192. Exactly. So that proves my point. He's not little. This, folks, is what we are arguing against. Like we did. Listen, Sam, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to get the highlights. Listen, people don't always have time to do their own research and stuff like that. That's why what we bring on this show and what other podcasters bring on their shows is so valuable, right? Because it gives you snapshots or snippets of what people are seeing, and you can kind of compile all that stuff for yourself and figure out how you feel about it. Mm-hmm. Cool, right? I think though that there are just as many fans. How can I say this? As many fans as there are like Samtha, there are a lot of fans just like you and I, where like, yo, give me some juice, give me something that I can really, like think on and help me figure out what the heck is going on. I'm not asking you to do my job for me as a podcaster or as an analyst or anything like that, or as a researcher, but if all I'm getting is the highlights, I don't have time to go to every single practice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm saying all this to say, like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, man, when I get to a place where I do have time, should I be the one to just start going and doing that? Like, if I see like that, Damaris always says, Coach D all the time, like, if you see an issue and you have thought of a solution already, fix it. Mm-hmm. You do it. Mm-hmm. You came up with the idea. You do the idea, right? So that's what made me kind of be like, all right, well, maybe I need to be the one to go do it. But yeah, I think here's the other part of it too. When the players that are lower down the depth chart get an idea or kind of understand that they're getting just as much attention as the guys who get all the highlights, that's got to be somewhat of a boost or somewhat of a positive pressure for them as well. Like, for me as a player, if I know like I'm fourth on the depth chart, but there's a contingency of analysts and scouts and fans and stuff like that that's looking at every player trying to get a better idea for who's more qualified and who's this and who's that, there's a lot more opportunity for me to show out in practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because here's the bottom line when it comes to practice and all that kind of stuff. They record these practices for a reason. And these coaches have to go back and watch the tape for a reason, right? They have teams of people who watch the video with them, and they're looking for specific things. They're looking for things to stick out, whatever the criteria is under which they're watching the video to see whatever it is they're trying to see. That's the lens that they view the video on. The reason I'm saying all of that is there's only but so many coaches on the field. Right. Not every coach can see every single play of every single player that happens during practice.
Right.
It's not how it works. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And however much you want to say, well, they compensate, but they compensate for that by watching the tape. Okay. But under which lens are they watching the videotape to begin with? Right. So I think the majority of the point that I'm trying to make is the situation as currently constructed in practice. And I think a lot of the younger players are getting a lot of recognition for their play. They're standing out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because those are the guys connected to the new defensive coordinator that everybody wants to have, to have success here. Any other given year with Sean McDermott, they weren't getting any of that. It was, all right, this is the new crop of class of players, and these are all, locker room guys, leadership guys, and all that kind of stuff. Let's see how they do. But what about the undrafted dudes? You know what I mean? Like Tyrell Shavers, every time he touches the field, he scores a touchdown. Every time you throw him the ball, he's making a big play. The way it looks right now, he may not even be on the team next year. The way they're talking about him now, when he does come back, he's a special teamer.
Mm-hmm.
How does he not get consideration? Like J-Ham posted in our Discord chat the poll.
Yeah.
Did you vote on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the options is like how what was the question? Like how should players be?
Yeah, how should you earn a starting position? That's basically the crux of it. And one of the questions was I think it was draft position, it was money, it was play on the field, all the above or other. And I voted obviously play on the field.
Yes.
Because I think that playing the field begets the rest of it. Of course you draft or however you're acquired, that's one thing, but if you play well on the field, you're going to make more money. And if you play well on the field, it just that's the top dog.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we're talking about Tyrell Shavers, talking about Keon Coleman, I'm good not talking about them only because in the conventional sense, that means 4 of the guys are knocking it out of the park. That's the way I look at it. However, we're watching highlights of Mecole Hardman catching and taking it off down the field. We're watching highlights of, endless highlights, as you stated before we first started, DJ Moore highlights. And I'm like, okay, Skylar Bill, they got their guys they want to focus on. What is White Steve doing? No, joking. But
White Steve is like,
wait a minute. Y'all didn't catch that 50-yard bomb on? I know somebody saw it. But, it's like, okay. We know who we're going in there, trying to feed us what we want, they think.
Yeah.
But, I like you said, I want to know what Keon Coleman's slant game looks like when they're playing zone. I want to know, can he find out the gap in the coverage? Can he outrun somebody with the ball? We know he can play. But I want to know, I'm more interested in things they can't tell you, which they can't tell you. Like, how do you fit Keon Coleman in this offense? What are you gonna do with him? What are you gonna do with Skylar Bill? How do they get into this? Josh Palmer, he gets through 3 practices without being hurt, and everybody like, oh yeah, he's the number 3 guy easily. Are you sure? Why? Because of the money. To J-Ham's whole point, the money, is that why? I mean, is he that much better than Keon Coleman? I don't think so. He's just been in the league longer. He's been exposed to different things that Keon has not. So now I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm looking at Joe Brady's point, what he said. Keon Coleman is lucky I'm the head coach now. Why? What is your plan? Because it's not even I'm the president of the Keon Coleman fan club, but when you make a bold statement like that, there's a reason for it. What are you thinking in your head as you say that? Why is he lucky? What are you going to do with him? Because you didn't say that about Josh Palmer. You didn't say that about anybody else. I know there was an attack on Keon Coleman. I get it. But you qualified and you went out of your way to say something about it. You didn't say he's got to earn something. You didn't say, he got a clean slate. He said he's lucky I'm his head coach. So that means you got something in store. So I want to know what that is, but you really can't tell me.
Right.
But those are the things that I want to know from camp, selfishly. And by the way, mom texted me, said, looks good, thumbs up. Yeah, okay. Not saying the hat won't be back. I tried this when I was 40. It didn't last long. It was like 2 shows. But yeah, no, we camp is if you go to camp, you can tell it's for the fans, because what do you see? Vendors, as far as I can see, we're selling merchandise. We're selling this. We're selling that. When I went to camp when I was a kid at Fredonia, they didn't have anything. They just had this orange plastic thing that said "Don't cross."
Yes.
I'm close enough to watch Kerry Benders and whoever else running through the tackling machine, or the machine running backs running through. Mm-hmm. I'm close enough to see the jugs machine with wide receivers. I'm close enough to see these things, and I'm like, they putting in work in pads. This is work. There was no frills. There was no seats. There was no nothing. You stand there, or you sit on the grass, or you bring your own chair. Mm-hmm. But they doing work. And I know the CPA says you can't do 2-a-days. You got to have a 3-day acclimation process. What is that? What is that? You can't wear pads. Okay, what if we don't hit? You still can't wear pads. What? And you heard what Joe Brady said. He said something about, now, when's the next practice? Wednesday? Or is it tomorrow? Tomorrow, I think it's Wednesday.
I don't know.
I think. Don't quote me. In the next 2 days. But Joe Brady said, now that we got the pads on, I don't want to hear excuses about, the chin strap felt weird or on the wrong plate. What? Even in the little bitty I played, what you do? You walking around in the offseason with your helmet on so your neck wouldn't hurt, because the first week or two of practice, your neck is on fire.
Yep.
It's like, what is this foreign object that's weighing my skull down? My head's big, but it's not that big. So it's like, all right. But we're talking about millionaires. We're talking about guys who have done this year in and year out. Next practice is
tomorrow.
Off Wednesday. Okay. So yeah. So you're talking about now we've got that out the way. What are we doing?
Exactly. What was I gonna say? Somebody said something I wanted to react to.
Does anybody still want Diggs? Diggs is super sus out there. Anybody still want him in the locker room? Yes. Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
It's not my locker room, and I don't care.
even if Diggs is a walking AO, nobody cares.
Nobody cares because he's gonna be
pay him $6.5 million. Get him
right.
He can diddle the football in the end zone.
In the end zone. I don't care what he did. Hey, not my show.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I'm not seeing it here. Look, I think I'm arriving at the place now where because I said diddle the football in the end zone.
You can give him the number 80. 80. There you go. There you go.
I just want to let that one breathe for a minute. Okay, here it is. Samantha says Steve's Steve.
Cornerback.
Okay. Here's why. Yeah, because this is what Steve said. He said, if you can't burn or break Benford's ankles 10 times, you're not a legit wide receiver. And if you can't cover Coleman, you're not a legit cornerback. That would be my standard. That's harsh, but I like it. Listen. Benford is not slow. He ran a 4.5, right? And in certain situations, he might be faster than that. Like when he's running from Joe Burrow.
For you, Dorothy.
Right. Since that seems to be the highlight of Christian Benford's career is him running from a quarterback.
It popped up. I'm like, that's pretty slick. I was like, that's pretty slick.
I'll say this. I do think it is uniquely suspect that the coach said what he said about Coleman, and Joshua Palmer is firmly planted in that starting position. I think it should have been very clear up front, like the left guard position was. You know what I mean? Because traditionally, what the Bills have done with their money is they with their money, they've justified the earning of the position. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, I'm paying you $6.5 million, dog. You ain't sitting on the bench. You on the field.
Right.
That's the Bills. That's the Bills that I know in the drought and now. Now, do you know what I'm saying? So my point in bringing that up is, I don't care what Josh Palmer is making. If you came out in public and said that about Keon Coleman, hey, Keon's going to be glad I'm his coach. Is he though?
Right.
If he's still sitting on the bench and being called in for, red zone plays or something like that Josh Palmer might not be big enough to handle, or if you only call him in to block like you was doing with Tyrell Shavers, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Either be up front and tell Keon Coleman he's not what your team is looking for, or get him on the damn field and let him show you what he can do when given a true opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've been through the numbers already. If you extrapolate his numbers out, he's a what? He's an 8 touchdown, 1,000 yard guy, almost 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. Like everybody's offense will do it.
Like people would take that from Josh Palmer right now.
Mm-hmm.
And those are Josh Palmer numbers. He's 6 touchdowns, 800 yards. This is what he's been in LA.
Yeah. And that's a good year.
Right.
Yeah.
So I find it fascinating how the Bills have navigated both what the owner said that he wasn't supposed to say and what the head coach said that he probably shouldn't have said.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we're keeping receipts now.
Yeah.
Bills are in the business of keeping receipts now. We've been through 8 years of this.
Yeah.
We know the game now. We've seen enough of it to know that part don't look right.
Right.
I'm gonna pay attention to that until you justify that.
Right. Brandon Bean, he's our ex Joe Brady. He's lucky I'm his owner's like the hell with him. Why is he on my team? He's still here? Can somebody fact check that?
Right.
What was it? Daquan asked. He said, "You guys want him in the baby mama drama in the locker room or Tyreek in the high speed chase?" I think the Bills have a daycare program. So yeah, I'm still gonna go with Diggs. I'm still gonna go with Diggs.
I think the new stadium's got a daycare somewhere in there.
They got one. They have to.
If not, Diggs will probably hire somebody and build his own daycare in there. He's
maybe
got enough money to do it.
Maybe just let Josh Palmer hold his kid as he's out on the field catching touchdowns. So hold my baby. I got to go out and play. You ain't doing nothing.
You see him get up out of the. You see him get up out of the stands like he's just sitting there next to his baby. He's like, "What?" And he goes there, right.
Hands off the little burping towel.
Yeah. He runs on the field. Somebody snatches his off his shoulder pad. Like, hey, no.
Like, right. All right, cool. I thought I heard something over there. Take care of my baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I might pay just to see that. I might pay just to see how Steph Diggs handles daycare during the season.
Yeah, I wrote. Yeah, that's kind of the issue, and this isn't even me trying to get on Josh, but that's an issue with some of Josh's deep passes as well. You say the jump balls are thrown flat. You got to get air under some of your balls, and that's something that we know. I know. Dalton Kincaid would say that too. But
go ahead, own it, bro. Just own it. You said some air up under your balls.
Some air up under your balls. Rose AO police now. But yeah, you're when you're watching the passes and you know who was it when we got Josh? Was it John? No, was it John Brown that said no? Who was it that said you can't out throw him? He said you can throw it as far as you want. I'm going to get to the ball. I forget who it was. Was it whoever it was?
I think it was John Brown.
Could have been.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that the ball goes like this and not like that. So you got a lot less time to get down there.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean that we've seen with Josh, if there's a propensity or a need for him to do so in the season, he will correct it. So maybe in year 10, that's the thing he works on. I always wonder what Josh goes into every season. What's he going to work on? Because it seems like every year is something and you can see it. You know, he might forget something that he worked on previous and pick something else up, because it's more conducive to the offense they want to run. But Josh doesn't usually come in the same way that he left the year before. It's always something that's different to his game.
Yep. What did you think about Bradley Chubb dropping weight?
I didn't know he dropped weight. How much did he drop?
They didn't say that, but they did say that he dropped some weight and he looks. How did they say it? Basically, he's he looks faster. Whatever. However, you're more explosive.
How does he look faster with no pads on? I mean, I'm sorry.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Every year, the hype machine. Somebody said Dwayne Carter looked good. Based on what?
I'm not going there.
Maybe he did, but based on what?
That's a good point.
Based on what?
That's a good point. He can run now, right? He can run. That was his problem before. He couldn't run.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to make him our best run defender, which he's going to have to be.
He's going to have to be if he wants to see the field. If he wants to get a jersey.
Yeah.
Sample said Groot size caught your eye. Yeah, he's what 6'7", 265-ish.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he dropped about 5 pounds.
Yeah, too. I mean that number 15 makes you it plays a role, and you're like, wait, I can't compute somebody that big wearing 15. Now his proportion is off because of the number alone.
Yeah,
50 is like that's what I expect out of 50, but 15 is that a wide receiver, tight end? I don't know. What is he?
Bro, I drafted this linebacker on Madden. He chose number 19. I'm like, ugh. It hurts because I usually change the numbers, but he was a first round pick, so I let him have it.
I always wanted to be. This is the thing about college football way back.
Yeah,
you used to have to make promises for players to come to your school. I had a cornerback who wears number 74.
A quarterback?
Cornerback.
Cornerback. That is worse than Christian Benford's number.
Worst thing ever.
74,
but if you change it,
bro?
if you change it, they want to leave your school, so I had to leave it. Because he was like a 4-star recruit at UB. So I had to let him wear something.
Are you serious?
4 years it is.
First of all, let me say that's dope that they don't let you change their number. I like that.
He was like, nope, change my number. I'm out of here. I'm like, yo. Joey was good with it.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
I wrote, said we go to. It's fine because he was getting picks out the wazoo. Like I wanted to throw the ball to him, but just knowing 74 had pick sixes was weird. That was very strange.
That's great. The idea that you step on the field.
Like, who's this clown?
Yo, who the hell is 74, dog?
Oh,
we going at him right now.
And he got his number on the back.
That number.
So that's his real number.
It's on the back too.
Hey, replacement jersey. That's the number he shows.
Right.
And I just thought about that when you mentioned changing numbers. But yeah, no, 19. And it's funny because 19 was the number I always wanted to wear playing football. 19 was my UB used to have this guy named Noah Burrows who for whatever reason I really liked this dude.
Okay.
Because he's a linebacker and I was like 10 or something like that. And I was like, man, I want to wear 19. Then it became my favorite number.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't wear 19 in basketball. So I had to shelf it. Then when I played volleyball, I got to wear 19. I said, well, I have to do whatever. I'll take it. But yeah, then I went to play football and I said 19. They said, nah. I said, what do you mean, nah? They said, nah, defensive ends don't wear 19. I said, I want to. So I had to wear like 91.
That's where you got 91
That's where it came from. Yeah, because I had, yep. I was like,
wow.
Yeah, I wanted 19 so bad. I was like, man, F you, I'm getting a 1 and a 9. Somehow, some way.
Right. Fit it in there somehow.
What's going on with that?
I don't care if it's some kind of off English
matter.
Signal or sign or something like that. It's going on the jersey.
I could wear it. It could be Swahili, Japanese. It's gonna be 9. It's gonna be some 9 and a 1 somewhere on my body.
Really quick while I get our sponsor up on the screen behind me, which I completely forgot to do. I apologize. No, there, and there. And I think that's
now y'all see how this works. This is how this works.
I know I gotta do all this stuff just to bring that onto the show here. Okay, so the reason I
Yes, indeed.
Sorry about that.
That was a good show. What were we listening to?
That's Live Us.
Whatever that was, I want to listen to it.
That's what that was. All right, so really quick, the High Mic High Tech hotline is supercharged and ready to go. The call-in link should be at the top of the chat, just under that BS about Brandon Bean's island that he has somewhere in no man's land, in La La Land. Look just below that, and you'll see the call-in, the link for the call-in line there. Go ahead and give us a call. Let us know what you think about what's been going on with camp. What are your favorite storylines going on, and who are you really looking forward to seeing or hearing more news about?
Mm-hmm. And Laura eloquently pointed out that Levi Wallace was your favorite. Oh no. Yeah, she said he was your favorite cornerback at the time. Yes. Do
you think it's a coincidence that the two corners on the Bills with the two worst numbers a corner has ever worn have been the two corners that I've criticized the most?
Wasn't Levi Wallace 47 at one point?
when he first came in, I think he was 47. He changed to 39. Yeah.
And then Cam Lewis was 47. He said, "No, I don't want that."
Right.
So
he was smart.
Yeah. Christian never said, "Nah, I don't even care." So I'm wearing this number.
Right. Christian was like 6th round pick. I'll take whatever you got.
He's like 40. He's like, "Nah, give me the most egregious number ever. 47. Right. I'm about to make this thing famous."
It's probably what he said. That's probably what he said.
He made a Hall of Fame. You know how many of these little kids? Because it's like the Deion Sanders face mask with the eye blocks. Because nobody knows it. Those are ocular protectors. That's what that's for. That vertical bar over your eyes that Deion wore.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't know that. Like when you buy a face mask, it has different purposes. They all have different names and model numbers for all the different bars and stuff like that. But people are like, "Yo, I just want the joint to do this and this." Like, what?
Except for the snowflake one. That one serves no purpose whatsoever. That was just specifically what Deion Dawkins wanted, and somebody made it.
And I'm okay. You know what? This is like the who was it? Chris Canty that had like the 85 bars across the front. Like there was no end to the bars. It was like one solid sheet of metal. He's like, "Ain't nobody poking their fingers in here."
Right.
I'm safe.
That I get. That I absolutely get. J Ham said some advice, just make it a slideshow. I got to get it onto the screen. Like that comes first. Then I can make it a slideshow. How did we? What's going on behind you?
When you took yours down, you took mine. Cause it was the same screen, I think. So
really?
You did something and slid it up to yours. Because I had the Reed's T and you had Reed's T. We both had Reed's T up. And then when you put that up, mine disappeared.
I compromised the whole deal. Now it just
looks
like a computer screen behind you. All right, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the reason I brought up the Bradley Chubb thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the history during the drought of the Bills employing this lightweight, speedy, penetrating style of defense?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the year 2007?
I mean, it happened.
It happened.
I was 23. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Do you have some sort of remembrance of our defensive tackles that started that season? Do you remember who they were?
In 07?
One of them you hate, and the other one you probably like.
Was it Stroud?
No.
Oh, it was Darius, wasn't it?
No.
Wait, no, Darius was. Yeah, that was Kyle Williams. That I know.
Kyle Williams was there. That was his second season.
Who was the other one?
You might not get the other. Okay, here we go, chat. Give me the other defensive tackle that started alongside Kyle Williams on that defensive line with Aaron Schobel and Chris Kelsey as the defensive ends. So you had Aaron Schobel, defensive tackle to be mentioned, Kyle Williams, and Chris Kelsey.
That wasn't a Hunter two, was it?
No.
Okay.
You're getting closer.
Okay. Huh. I'll leave it there. Who we got?
Nobody's got an answer.
Nobody got it? Oh. Who was it?
Larry Triplett.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember Larry Triplett?
Yeah, I remember.
Ward number 98.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that stuck out about Larry Triplett was he looked like a bigger man, right? But when you go and you look at his Madden stats, you look at his combine numbers, nothing very impressive. Wasn't the biggest defensive tackle in terms of weight. He was a TJ Sanders style defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had a TJ Sanders-esque defensive tackle who wasn't as fast in Larry Triplett, and then you had Kyle Williams, who was kind of that tweener that can, rush the passer, give you 5 sacks a season while also being pretty good in the run. Basically, that whole defensive line was all tweeners except for maybe Kelsey, who was a traditional 4-3 left end, right? Even Schobel was like a hybrid. Yeah, he's like 250 pounds is what he is. Like,
yeah, he wouldn't be.
And he was our best pass rusher. But nope, it wasn't Pat Williams, Steve. So the reason I'm bringing up this defensive line is that's one of the more popular defensive lines that we had under this build of, speedy, smaller frame or lighter guys that can penetrate and beat teams to the point of attack and all that kind of stuff, right? Do you know where we ranked in run defense that season?
I'm going to say like
and
20.
when I say run defense, I mean yards per rush yards surrendered per game.
I'll say middle of the pack.
25th.
25th.
Okay. 25th. If you look at, actually, let's do this real quick because I don't want to draw this whole point out. I just want to make it and then we can talk about it. The Buffalo Bills last season in rush defense, do you know what they were?
Was it 27th is my dad?
28th.
28th.
They were 28th in rush defense, right? Before that, excuse me, 2024, the Bills were 15th in rush yards per game. That same year, we had an AFC Championship game loss. Now, do you remember my point last week? Actually, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'll make that point after I go through every year. Okay. 2023, we were also 15th in rush defense. 2022, we were 5th in rush defense. That also happened to be DeQuan Jones' first year with the team. His first season with the team, we have a true one tech that can play next to Ed Oliver, and oh my God, we got a good run defense. Right? We're listening to the coaches tell us, oh, you don't need a big man, you don't need a one tech, you don't need I'm sitting here talking about run defense because I'm concerned about stopping the damn run, the thing that has ailed this team under Sean McDermott for many years.
I was excited we finally got a win. I was excited we got a one. I mean, then.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know numbers. I didn't care that we got a one.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. We got a one.
Exactly. Okay, so we've established what a true one tech can do for this defense with Sean McDermott's defense. Like, that's not even on some other team that we're trying to use an example of. We brought a one tech in 5th in rush yards per game surrendered. Right? The year before that, 2021, we were 13th. Okay, 2020, we were 17th. 2019, we were 10th. 2018, we were 16th. Okay, now the point that I was going to make earlier, after I talked about the rush yards per game surrendered, is both years that we made an AFC Championship game, we were 15th in rush yards surrendered, 17th in rush yards surrendered. So right around the middle of the pack, which is not bad. Okay, but now here's where the points per game comes into conversation and why I made the point a couple of weeks ago or a couple episodes ago about Super Bowl winning defenses that are top 10 in points per game. Okay, those 2 years we made it to the AFC Championship and didn't win, the Bills were 11th in 2024 in points per game surrendered. 11th. Okay. Remember, 15 of the last 20 that won a Super Bowl have all been top 10 in points per game surrendered. Okay? In 2020, the Bills were 16th in points per game surrendered. Okay? So we lost the AFC Championship game. Both times that we lost the AFC Championship game, we were just outside that top 10. All right?
Yeah.
Now, here's where I'm going with this. When you're building a team and you're considering what works in the NFL, history gives you what usually works. I just took everybody through what usually works. We talked about points per game. We talked about rush yards per game surrendered. We talked about all these different conditions under which we've seen Super Bowl winners achieve the goal that all 32 NFL teams are trying to accomplish, right? And 15 of the last 20 Super Bowls have been won. Majority of teams has been won by elite defense, top 10 defense in points per game, and top 10 offense in points scored. The Bills have had consistently one of those both times they made the AFC Championship game. Both times they made the AFC Championship game, they were second in scoring. Both times. The first, matter of fact, I got it here. The first time they made it was in 2020. They were 31.3 points per game, and 2024 was 30.9 points per game. Both times 30 points. So like the scoring was there. You just needed to get the defense there, right? One of the things that allows a defense to be unpredictable is being able to run the ball. Mm-hmm. If a team can run the ball on you, and they know they can do play action, they can do bootlegs, they can do a lot of different things. They can set up screens. They can do a lot of different things out of running the ball and forcing those linebackers to have to take a step forward before taking a step back. Right? Linebackers can no longer see ball, get ball, as they try to tell us right now is going on in camp.
Yeah.
Right? Because see ball, get ball becomes, oh, see ball looks like a run, going to get it. Oops, nope, it's going over my head. That's what it becomes if the team that you're playing against can run the ball. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the significance of all of this to me is I'm watching my team attempt to be a part of those 5 teams in NFL history that have won a Super Bowl that didn't conform to what the consensus was, being top 10 on defense in points per game and top half of the league in rush yards surrendered. Right? Like, cool. If they believe they can do that, let's see it happen. I'm praying that they're right. If they're not, though, they deserve the criticism. It's the equivalent of me getting a job somewhere and them training me on how things are supposed to go. Let's just say my job is I have to type my name, and after that I hit the enter button. Right? But instead of doing that, I go to some website on the internet that pulls up a keyboard, and I use the mouse to click on each of the letters of my name. And then on top of that, I gotta find a different keyboard that has an enter button on it, and I want to click the I want to do it my way, regardless of if it takes longer, if it's less efficient, regardless of what kind of lack of conformity it has to what the job entails.
Yeah.
I want to do it my way.
Yeah.
Right? And that's cool if you're the Rams. That's cool if you're the Rams. But if you're choosing the path less traveled, and it's not doing the thing, like it's working to a degree, but it's not doing the thing you needed to do. The one thing you needed to do, it's not by chance. Right. Winning a Super Bowl is not going to happen by chance. It's not a matter of just coming back to the same door every single year and giving it the old boot. It's not it.
Did it work yet? No.
And listen. People are going to hear what I'm saying now, and they're going to say, "Oh, you're being cynical. You're down on the Bills. You did this." No. I'm pointing out the numbers, the hard data that tells you what wins in the NFL.
Yeah.
Traditionally, over the last 20 years, that includes 2 different eras of football. Like 20 years of football is still when running backs were some of the highest paid players on the team. Right? So for me, I think it comes down to, I hope that they are the outlier that goes out and proves everybody wrong and completely defies every single, in the same way that Josh Allen has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Josh Allen's got some of the most ridiculous statistics in NFL history, right? Embody that as a team. Embody all of that. Be the NFL team that goes and wins a Super Bowl with the worst run. Be 32nd in rush, but go win the damn Super Bowl doing it. Right? If you know you're going to be bad rushing in rush defense, then be number 1 in scoring. How about that? Can we be number 1 in scoring, and by a country mile? Can we be that? Can we be the greatest show on turf then if we're not going to have a rush defense? Can we? Because I tell you what, the Chiefs Kansas City Chiefs, when the first year they won it in 2019, they were ranked 26th in rush yards given up. 26th. But you know what they did? They scored 1 million points. So you had to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Now they got you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what Sean McDermott was banking on. You know, he wanted to get into a game where, when he said, if you're going to beat us, you got to run. He wanted to get into a game where you had to throw the ball because he thought he had to. I mean, to his credit, his defensive backs were usually pretty good. You know, of course, everybody's going to point to 13 seconds with Levi Wallace and Matt Milano, that whole ordeal. But, I mean, relatively buttoned up, relatively disciplined, relatively high-performing defensive backfield, regardless of who you put back there. But, you know, I was thinking about this point when kind of putting my show notes together. I was thinking about how Jim Leonhard actually impacts his team. You know, what do we do with Jim Leonhard? What is his leash? I mean, not saying you're going to fire him. That's not where I'm at with it. But you know, my point is, they say now these players don't fit his scheme. Now we have to worry about, you know, an off season or a regular season rather of regression in order to go forward. I don't know if I can sit with that, because if you're telling me you're regressing to go forward, one, if you're that good, people are going to want you, and you're going to be poached from the team as a head coach at some point soon anyway. But also, when he came to Buffalo, you know, he asked, what do you think about this talent when you're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4 or whatever the case may be? He said, I'm going to make my scheme work around the talent that we have. So by saying that, I'm not willing to accept regression. I mean, I'm not saying that it got to be, you know, they're expecting to be in top 5, but to regress from where they were last year is unacceptable to me. When the blueprint was pretty much there, all we needed, like you said, run defense. How do you show up to run? Roy said, and I agree with you 100%, Roy. He said schemes also can stop the run. So my thing for Jim Leonhard is, how do you get the performance out of the players we have while stopping the one thing we couldn't do in history? You know, because I thought about it, and I said, so if you break it down, you have probably a healthy Ed Oliver. You have Deion Walker going to a second season. You got I think a better edge in Bradley Chubb over Joey Bosa. You know, you have Bishop maybe taking a step. CJ, GJ, you know, I don't want to rush him back, and there's reasons for that, because I'm worried about you know, compensation on the other side, popping Achilles because he was working extra hard, you know, planting on the wrong foot and exhausting that happens. But there's no reason for this defense to stink. I don't think, if this guy is as good as I think he is, if his football brain is as adaptive as I believe he's telling us he is. You know, I expect the next step from Benford. I expect the next step from Harrison. I expect the next step from Terrell Bernard. We've seen what he can do when attacking. That's how he got to the league. Yeah. It wasn't his size. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't anything else but him attacking quarterbacks and putting pressure. Greg Rousseau, pressure. You know, but how do you mitigate that pressure that's not forcing a sack, but it's forcing a quarterback off his pedestal. It's forcing him off of where he's comfortable. You know, how do you play that? How do you play that against the quarterback that you're seeing every week? You know, and people are not thinking about this, because if Jim Leonhard again needs more players, what does that mean? Another defensive draft, another defensive free agency, when we start working on offense. And as an offensive head coach, at some point, Joe Brady's got to say, you know, I got to get some guys too. Mm-hmm. I can't keep getting guys on defense. I can't keep spending money on defense and getting high priced players on offense to mitigate what I can't do in the developmental portal. Joe Brady's got to say, this is my team. You know, I'm going to be here for a long haul. I'm not leaving. I'm the head guy. There's nowhere for me to go now. I'm it. This is the pinnacle, unless you're going to the front office. Right. So, you know, this defense to me has to work. And there's no reason, there's no accepting it not working to some degree. Of course, you're going to see, okay, we might need a one tech where Jim Leonhard said we don't. You might need a different linebacker where Jim Leonhard said these are the guys I like, or whatever the case may be. But to say, you know, 4 or 5 of the guys that we see every Sunday don't work, that's not acceptable to me.
I'm with you. I don't want to make excuses for the team when they're not doing what they need to do schematically. right? But I think what we saw last year with the Bills and how they fixed their run defense late in the season was they had to start blitzing the run, right? And I think, unfortunately, we don't have the same players that Denver has. We will have to blitz the run probably more than we want to. I would say we probably will have to blitz the run maybe 30% of the time, which is high. That's high, but that's just for us to maintain a solid baseline of being middle of the pack in rush defense. If that's what it takes, fine. I don't care if they blitz 50% of the time. If you're going to make a decision to stop something, make a firm decision to stop it, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm saying though is, and not that I'm trying to turn this into a back and forth, but no. I think the perspective that I'm coming from is more so I don't want to have to blitz at all. I'd rather the onus fall on my defensive line to, my one tech takes the double team and my other three defensive linemen, whether Chubb is one of them or Rousseau is one of them, who, however that happens within the structure of the play. I'd rather them be the guys who take up the blockers so that my linebackers are free and clear to just clean house. Like, I want to force an offense to have to use their tight ends in blocking, right? What that does for me is that takes more receivers out of the play. You can no longer play action because you got to worry about all my guys coming downhill, and your 5 ain't going to be enough, right? And what I think the scheme that we're seeing now is putting us in position to watch is everything that this team does is going to have to be schematic. It's going to have to be X and O's related. Why? Because the players that we have in the positions that we have them, and I guess when I say players, I should really just be specific. I'm really talking about Deion Walker. I think Deion Walker is an amazing defensive tackle and can be Marcus Stroud-esque in his ability to rush the passer and stop the run and be dominant up front. We've seen flashes of that, right? But he is not a nose tackle, even like it by any stretch of the imagination. And I think even with the justification of this is not a traditional 3-4, he's still going to be in those positions, like whether he wants to or not. And here's why. As much as the Bills defense says we're going to scheme it up, the reason I point to fundamentals is every offensive mind is going to take it back to that. Like, you can dance around the offensive line all you want, but if you let me get my offensive lineman on one of your linebackers, it's over. And all it takes is one. And I think what we've seen with Sean McDermott's defense over the last 8 years is that usually happens at least once a game. You know what I'm saying? And God forbid it be against a Devin Achane or one of these the Jahmyr Gibbs from Detroit, who we have to play this season. Like, God forbid that happens in one of these games where the Bills are going to be down and now we have to score points. Now because we can't rely on being able to consistently stop a good run team. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm bestowing my analysis upon the Buffalo Bills, which is a very nice way of saying criticizing. You
don't criticize what?
Right. When I'm thinking about the team build, it doesn't have to be Vita Vea. Like, go find a low budget guy that's coming in at 6'3", 330, 325 pounds, whatever, that can take a double team and put him in there. Right?
That'd be optimal. But I mean, like I said, we saw with Daquan Jones, 305 pounds, 310. If you had a mind state, if you have the body build, you have the power, do it. But it's a certain skill set you're looking for.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, because you talking about 345 pounds, we got that, but he'd be over there somewhere if you put him in nose tackle. Right. So, it's like just getting low pad level. How can you collapse the A gaps at every play? Collapse A gaps, make the guards think, oh man, we got this load right here we got to deal with, and they're not even worried about getting to the linebackers because they just got to make sure the quarterback is okay. They got to make sure the running back can get to the second level. And they're not thinking about the second level and beyond. They're just thinking about how do we not take a loss because this guy is manning the whole middle. That's why Dexter Lawrence's and people like that they're so great because they might not have the sack numbers, they might not have the anything else, nothing on the stat sheet. They're not stocking stuffers when it comes to stats, but you have to look on the field, and that's when I tell people, we talk, who I'm talking about in this regard, but what about this person? What about that guy? Why aren't you saying? But see, they're doing their job, but what we want is something they're not gonna do. We want Rousseau to get 15 sacks. We want him, but what they don't realize is go watch his Miami tape. And too bad Tommy's there, because Tommy would tell you he didn't rush from the outside. He was never a dynamic pass rusher. He happened upon sacks by being schemed into the gaps, schemed into the B gaps, loopers, things like that. That's how Rousseau got 15 sacks. Not by just beat his man one-on-one. No, he had to find him, like Jim Leonard said about Ed Oliver. They got to find him. And I'm interested in what that means. Will Ed Oliver ever be lined up in a 2-point stance? It would be crazy, but that tells me that the evolution of a defense. If you have somebody that play defensive tackle, now this is one of our fast guys in the front. We can stand him up. We can line him up in the 7 if you want and loop him in, because he has that skill set that keeps the wear and tear off his body because he's not being abused right away. But he's also getting a running head start. These out of the box things that people don't think about, and they don't think that like we talk about with Diggs when all the playoffs and stuff like that. This guy, his name or his ability to disrupt the game, the fear of him being able to disrupt your game is enough for the other guys to win. And so we got to identify one person that has the ability to strike fear into the team, saying, we can't let him beat us. That's the guy we can't let him beat. And they told you, Diggs, we can't let that guy beat you. James Cook, we can't let him beat us. And who on defense do we have like that? And that's what we got to identify this year. And that's what I wish we could identify in the training camps, but we can't because there's no way. Because one, the D-line isn't really rushing. They're not really, they're not using their full arsenal. They're not using everything they can to try to get to the quarterback because you can't touch them.
Right.
Your defensive backs are kind of shell drilled because the offense is working on installs. You heard what Jim Leonard said, or not Jim Leonard, or Joe Brady said when he said, I kind of tell, what do you need to see? Okay, fine. You want to see how that play runs against a run? Fine, we'll throw a run at you. We're not trying to beat you. We're trying to so you can evaluate your guys. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at training camps and stuff like that, it's more than meets the eye, because you don't see refs out there for a reason. Usually, you don't see a lot of the things that you think you would see in a real practice because it's a script, And Joe Brady says, "Okay, I want to see this run. I didn't like that." Oh, Leonard, can you throw me a cover 4? Can you throw me a looper? Can you throw me something? Because I need to see how this looks against that. But when people are watching it in the stands, they're like, oh man, Cook toasted him. Oh man, DJ Moore, he can't be stopped. Keon Coleman and making Max Harrison look stupid. No, that's by design. Because Jim Leonard said, I put Josh Allen in positions I know he's going to fail because I want him to have things that we talk about. And that's when everybody said, well, Josh Allen said it's nice not to be playing against, a defense I know what it is. If Josh Allen didn't know Sean McDermott's defense after 8 seasons, wouldn't that be a problem? That'd be an issue for me. So now you see Jim Leonard's like, I've never seen this before. Cool, I like this. I can dissect this, And then you got Joe Brady who's throwing things in there to hamper the thing and make him not make him mess up, but make him see the field differently. And so when you look at Keon Coleman, Moss, and Max Harrison, maybe they did it on purpose. They put that matchup out there on purpose. Throw a deep ball and see who comes down with it. One, Keon Coleman gets to work on his high point in the balls, and Max Harrison gets to work on guys that are bigger than him. But this all pays off on Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays. Then I don't put a lot of stock in it now because they're working on things. If you go through practice, and T hates when I say this because we used to work with this guy, but when everybody says practice makes what? They say practice makes perfect, right? Mm-hmm. No. Right. Practice makes permanent. It makes permanent. So when Max Harrison is going to Keon Coleman, when Max Harrison is going against Dalton Kincaid, he may never see anything like that, but they're trying to put him in a situation that he has to learn and grow just in case. Right. And when you're a fan, like, oh man, Keon dropped the ball. Oh man, Max Harrison blew a coverage. Oh man, Kilgore looked terrible. We know he's looking good so far, but they're doing it on purpose. And so when I say go to the training camp, go there and just watch them. Don't go there and try to say, well, they weren't working on them. They don't know the play. They don't know because you don't know what the coaches are telling them to do.
I want to get to a comment first before we react to that. we got a lot of exclamation marks from John Robert here. I'm going to give you the disclaimer, John. Welcome to the show.
You're in.
Just so you know, you did this. We didn't do this.
Mm-mm.
You chose to come into our chat, which means you are now part of the Post Podium Podcast family, and there's no cost to you or anything like that. You don't have to pay anything. Like you're just in the family now. However, there is no getting out. So if you feel like you're just gonna, duck away, like Steve Noble was here with us last week, and he was, not
he was on hiatus for a while.
He was on hiatus for a year,
That's
something
about right.
like that, whatever.
But he came back. He said, "You know what?"
And we remembered him and stopped the whole show to say what's up. So that's how we rock. Feel free to say whatever you got to say. Exclamations, fine, sure. John says no one really knows how 3-4 will work because it is Bill's first season with this scheme. To that, I would say this: we see a lot of things get teased. We see movie trailers. I'll use movie trailers as a great example, right? We can look at a movie trailer and actually get a pretty darn good idea for how the movie's gonna go, right? Mm-hmm. And you see this a lot with if you're on YouTube enough. You see a lot of YouTube channels take that trailer and like break it apart piece by piece, frame by frame, show you each frame, show you how that frame relates to the comics and what storyline in the comics that relates to. Sure you can. Because if you know who the defensive coordinator is, you can look at his history, right? Past history is the best indicator of future performance. That's what it is. So we know he came from Denver. We can look at elements of Denver. We know he was in Wisconsin. We can look at elements of Wisconsin and see what he does. Mm-hmm. We also know he played here. He played in Rex Ryan's defenses where he made his name the most. Of course we can. Mm-hmm. You just got to do enough research to be able to have a good general idea of what you might be looking at, what's most likely, right?
Right.
So while I'm not going to argue with you and say, yeah, I definitively know what it is. No, but I got a pretty decent idea. We know it's a mint defense. We know the basic, standards and conformities of that type of defense and like the rules of that kind of defense. Right. So it's kind of, it's easier, I'll say, to kind of see where certain players might fit within that scheme. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, the whole reason that I'm saying all of that is there's another comment from Lindsay. Actually, no, I want to get to this one too. Kev says, let's ask Leonard or have somebody ask Leonard. You had multiple chances to get a DT. Why did you not want that? I've reported this already. Before training camp, before OTAs, all that kind of stuff, the Bills met with Deion Walker and asked him to be the nose tackle, right? Initially, before that, I had a chance to speak with his agent, and his agent specifically flat out like, no, Deion doesn't want to play nose tackle. And he did qualify that and say, now, if they ask him to do it, he'll do it. But that's not what he didn't play any of that. Like that's not his T. You know what I'm saying? So where the comment comes into play and the point that I'm trying to make here is when you consider okay, I'll say it like this. So you play chess?
I used to.
Okay. So I still do. I taught my son, we play all the time, right? And he's only been playing for a little under a year, 6 months maybe. And he's already making me think about where I'm going to go, which is amazing. He's only 9, right? Mm-hmm. Great. I'm not the best chess player, right? But the reason I bring up chess is chess teaches you to think several moves ahead, to be able to anticipate things happening based on the variables at play.
Right.
Okay? So here's the variables at play. The variables at play are the opponent's team build. Okay? The variables at play are how teams scout you, what you put on tape. Okay? The variables at play are elite players, or forgive me for saying this, Bills Mafia, but lack thereof on the defense based on Sean McDermott's scheme and player decision and all that kind of stuff and Bean's drafting. Like, we've got good players, but no all pros. Matt Milano was the last one. So that's what I'm basing that off of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me, you make the all pro list, you're a dog. Okay. Variables like that would suggest that even if the scheme and the blitzing the run and stuff like that is good, it still may not be enough against a team like the Ravens or a team like the Lions or a team like the Rams that really know how to scheme it up, a team like the 49ers that really know how to scheme up some good runs. Those types of coordinators will be able to figure it out, right? I don't want to employ a scheme that is solely dependent on itself for success. I want a scheme that puts players in a position to be emphasized to the degree that they themselves become superstars.
Yep.
That's really what I want to see.
Yep.
And that's the only reason I think I get scared when you say scheme, because to me that takes away from the players. I guess I'm speaking from the experience of Sean McDermott's defense. That's where the fear comes in, because Sean McDermott's defense has always been 111th and nobody's above the, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, if nobody shines, then how you going to have a star? Like, how you going to have a guy that's counted on to make the plays when the plays are needed? Yeah. Who you going to look to when there's a play to be made?
Yeah, I think that's why I like this scheme, because this scheme is kind of the opposite of what you're saying about McDermott's defense. This scheme, what in my brain, and I'm going to catch a lot of hell for this from people watching right here, but my brain is I'm seeing that B gap open and seeing Terrell Bernard shooting through there to stop the running back for a tackle for loss. I'm seeing Dorian Williams, hitting the edge and meeting the running back right outside the tight end. I'm seeing Ed Oliver, doing what we've seen Ed Oliver do when he has somebody that relieves him of double teams. I'm seeing Christian Benford and Max Harrison shooting to the ball as opposed to backing way the hell off the ball. I'm seeing Cole Bishop knocking the tight end off on his head, over the middle when he's dumb enough to try to challenge him. Because these are the positions now that we have these players in, as opposed to seeing, Matt Milanos and Terrell Bernards and whoever backing off, seeing Taron Johnson out there forever backing off. Everybody's in a 7-yard bail every time, cover 4s only, cover 3s only. I'm seeing going forward. I'm seeing blitzing. I'm seeing twists. I'm seeing a lot of baits. I'm seeing a lot of times where the offense has to figure out what exactly they're showing me, because I know what I see, but I don't know what they're actually going to do. So to your point, which is 100% true in this regard, I think our scheme is going to allow for somebody to become a player. Like I always say that we're like, where the hell did that come from? When did he learn to do that?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that? Because now he can.
Yeah. I think what you're describing is what we see in Houston, where they have put their players in a position to, as Leonard says, see ball, get ball. You know what I mean? And like, tell me what the scheme is in Houston. What is it?
That would be Will Anderson and what's his name?
Exactly.
Daniel Hunter.
Exactly. You got it right. You got the answer. You got the right answer.
No scheme.
That's it. You just mash the guy with the football, or intercept it, or get this, sack the quarterback. Like, it's just that. I guess that's really what this comes down to. And Lindsay said this, boom, right here. She was talking to John. She said exactly, against the best and dominant defense. I think she meant to say dominant, dominant defense in the NFL. That's what the Bills fans want to see. That's what we were hoping to get with a defensive-minded head coach. And we, in terms of pass defense, we had it for several years, right? But to truly have that feel of last year's Seahawks, or the Browns defense from 2 years ago, or some of those Steeler defenses that have won Super Bowls, or some of the Ravens defense from was it 4 years ago when they were in the AFC Championship game? Like, give me that defense. That's like number one overall in damn near everything. And when you play them, it is absolute fear factor. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who's coming from where, and they got a freaking 6'4", 6'5" safety that can run like a gazelle. Like, if the scheme that these players are in now get that kind of performance out of these guys, then freaking fire Joe Brady and make Jim Leonard the head coach, because I never want that to leave. Right. No, I'm so serious, and I'm serious, but I'm kind of facetious in it, because I think I'm just looking to be dominant in something. I don't just want the most dominant quarterback in NFL history. I want a dominant side of the ball, period, where when it's time for our offense to go out there, people know we dropping 40. It don't matter. Like 30's cool. 30's cool, but we've been second in scoring 30 points a game. But that's not enough. Does that make me a super, snobbish fan or whatever the case? No, I don't think it does, because to me that equals Super Bowl wins. I'm trying to put forth the types of teams that win Super Bowls. Yeah. Forget all of this, what makes sense for the salary cap and what makes sense for whatever else. Mm-hmm. Is it going to give me a ring?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, is it going? And if it so happens to be this season that this scheme is the one that gets it done, crown them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when I'm thinking about the comments of Jim Leonard, I'm thinking about when he first came in and said, I'm going to build my scheme around the players and where they best fit. I have to figure this out, how they work, and now I don't have the pieces. So my thing is, what do we do? You can't run your defense, but what if this defense that you run works? Do you do what we've always seen and force it? Or do you adjust? Do you tweak what we have and make something around that? And that's what I need to see. See, I need to see the 2027 draft be maybe one big time defensive player, maybe two big time defense. I don't want a whole defensive draft and then maybe have a wide receiver, a guard, because we're probably going to need a guard this year.
Yeah.
We're probably going to need another wide receiver. We're probably going to need a tight end maybe. We're probably going to need things on offense. And I don't want to go out there and say, okay, who can we get? Oh man, this guy's 31, but he used to be good. $10 million, sign him up. I don't want that.
Bill signed Shaq Thompson.
Oh my God.
That's coming.
Yeah. Trey White, something like that. So it's like, okay, if you're coming on a bet, men, fine. But Shaq Thompson wants to play. Trey White, I'm pretty sure still wants to play. So that doesn't work for me. I mean, we got IGB who's going to learn on the fly. We got, like you said, the balls. You're going to have guys that react to a play action and everybody's lost. So everybody crashes the ball and get beat over the top. But then I expected in a couple plays later for it to be like, okay, interception, fumble, some kind of turnover, retribution. If we get that and we're not playing safe, we're not playing timid, I can take the big play, because chances are we'll just get Max Harrison, go that way very fast, find him, get him, please, But but for the most part, we got to, as a fan base, we're gonna have to get out of the mind state of not giving up big plays, because it's going to happen. Every team does it. Big best defenses give up big plays. Some of them are the best defenses because they are built to give up big plays, but then they get takeaways, and those takeaways mitigate the big plays.
Yeah. So
we, as a fan base, we can't say, "Oh man, see this," because as soon as something big happens, McDermott would have never allowed that. Well, he's gone now. And McDermott wouldn't have had, Greg Rousseau with 7.5 sacks and Ed Oliver with 8 sacks and Bradley Chubb with 9 sacks or whatever the logic is, because this defense allowed and unlocked something that defense didn't. So we're giving up big plays, but we're making plays that we're cheering for. Like when Mario Williams had 3.5 sacks in that game against Green Bay, that was a beautiful thing. The beautiful thing. When are we going to bring that back? How do we bring that back? Bryce Prop, 20 sacks. Give me somebody that you say, you know what? They actually might be able to give me 20 sacks. Maybe.
John says, most fans think Greg Rousseau will play even better as an outside linebacker. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. I do think he will, mostly because he was in a 2-point stance in college a lot.
Most of his sacks in the pros come from a 9 or 7.
Yeah. And he's going to see a lot of that in the scheme, right? So that's the belief system behind, how Greg Rousseau is going to be positioned to actually listen. If the man does anything more than 8 sacks, like I'll be happy. I'll be happy because I'm telling you, I'm tired of 7 and 8 sacks. I'm tired of it. and you want to be able to justify $20 million a season, in some way, shape, or form. Albert, I don't know if you're trying to start an argument or not, but he says Seagulls and Seahawks,
Beanie Seagulls,
Seahawks and Eagles when they won were both side dominant. Where did this need to be dominant on one side come from? Well, I'll tell you where it come from, Albert. It comes from the desire to not be a snobbish fan. Mm-hmm. Do I want to be dominant on both sides? Yeah. But I've seen plenty of teams over the last 10 years alone be dominant on one side of the ball and win a Super Bowl. I've seen a team in the Rams that was dominant on no sides of the ball and won a Super Bowl.
We saw the Chiefs with a horrible defense and great offense. Then they flipped the script.
That's it.
Great defense, horrible offense, still won.
Thank you.
So it can be done. Do we want both?
Absolutely.
Give me something to cheer for because I love defense.
Right. Iro says Pride Jr. might be nice, bro. He was nice in college. He's one of the guys that I mentioned in my little. I do like a little 5-player scouting report thing on players that I want the Bills to draft. And he was definitely one of those guys. He played outside in college. The way they're talking about him at the NFL level is like he might just be a nickel. I think the height factor is the biggest thing because he's got the speed. And he's got the size, like when I say size, he's got the weight, right? I'm not gonna say the G word because I don't want to have to hit the button. But I think he could, but I think we're seeing less and less in the NFL. Corners that are shorter than 5'11" don't really get a ton of opportunity outside.
He's
that's
like 5'8". He's not.
That's just the way it is.
He's like what 5'8", 175.
I thought he was 5'9". Isn't he 5'9"?
Maybe. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I gotta look at what his combine number because I know okay. He was down there.
Appreciate that, Joey. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know what broke your heart, Roy. Not sure about that, but all right, we're running out of time. I got to get to. Did you have anything before we move on? We're looking up.
So they got him at 70 inches. Okay, so he's like the same size as Max Pearson. They got him at. So no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's what?
5. So 5'10", by 5'10", 5'11",
185. They have him at. So yeah,
he can play outside.
Yeah, he can play outside if you at that size.
Man. Okay, all right. Yeah. No, you're right, Roy. He does. And like, listen, I don't want to speak for you, but I think it's kind of been that way since jump, right? And that's okay. I think for me, like even. I feel much more confident saying this now too because of the story that I'm about to bring up after this. Mm-hmm. Even in Madden, when I'm drafting, I build my team in as much of the Houston Texans way as I possibly can. I want to stack the deck. I'm not like, and here's the thing. I don't just go and find all of the 99 overall players. No. I'm looking for the players that have size, speed, strength. You know what I'm saying? The rest I can teach. The rest I can get out of them in during the game or in practice. I can build them up. That's not a big deal. They'll get the awareness from coaching and stuff during the regular season. Give me the traits. Mm-hmm. Give me the size, speed, athleticism, the strength. Give me all of that stuff and put that on the field because what I've seen in the NFL is 9 times out of 10. Those are the guys that that become impact players, right? Now, obviously, they have to have shown that they can do it in college, but damn, go get those guys. You know what I'm saying? Do your job in scouting, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's what put me in a position of, okay, 3-4 scheme, mint defense, however you want to describe it. The foundations of the base formation of it is 3-4, even if it's not a traditional 3-4. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what's the history in that? Well, we got to look at Denver. Well, Denver doesn't have a traditional nose tackle. Yeah, but all 3 dudes on their defensive line are good against the run, including their best pass rusher in Zach Allen. All 3 of them are good against the run. And matter of fact, they went and signed Roy something.
Lopez.
Yeah, Roy Lopez from the Cardinals from 2 years ago. He was a nose tackle in Arizona. Good against the run.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. The thing that I feel better about, to Kevin's point a while back, with regards to the nose tackle. Long and short of it, Jim Leonard never really used the nose tackle except for who was it? Was it Becton? No, not Becton. I forgot his name. That Wisconsin. It was one guy, but he only played like 30% of snaps in the one. You look at Denver. He never had a one tech there either. He's coupled with the fact that Terry Gray does not like nose tackles. Doesn't deal with one techs. He doesn't do one techs. That's something that he's never done. He doesn't have any experience with one techs in a draft, and he doesn't really value that as much as the guys, like you said, the movable guys, that utility piece. Our scouting department more so likes guys that can do more than one thing, which in some regards that's good. But when you have a multiple defense, when you have a guy who's trying to transition, you need somebody that can help you transition to what you want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so somebody mentioned Fadarian Mathis as a possible one tech. Zion Logue, who I think probably could be it.
That's a name there.
That's the name. And I mean, even Dwayne Carter, I got to see him. I mean, can he?
In this defense, it might work,
bro. I don't know. I don't know what he did at Duke. Honestly, they got him as a pass rusher, but he wasn't a good pass rusher. He didn't have more than 6 sacks ever. Yeah. He never was a threat at pass rush. So I'm like, okay, can he stop the run? They said no, but now he's 325. So by virtue of that, if you got an anchor, if most of your weight and most of the muscle was built on your lower half, you might be on to something.
Right.
So at least the transition to get us to the next level, because he can play 3 tech. So worst case scenario, he's the 3 tech.
Yeah. Steve Noble says, I could take getting stabbed once instead of death by 1,000 cuts like in the past defensively. Yep. I'm with you there, bro. Yep. I'm so with you there, bro. If I got to deal with that Tom Brady-esque just slicing and dicing me for 5 yards every single time down the field, no, thank you. No, just throw it over my head. Okay, let's go back to work.
I can tell you right now, the first time you see Max Harrison jump a ball, my TV is going to be no more.
Oh, here you go. El Boogie said, IGB, same thing. Should get a pick if he gets a pick 6.
I mean, sure, but Max Harrison,
it's gonna be loud. Forget IGB. Why don't you like Ohio State players? You don't like Ohio State players. You don't like Alabama players. No. Who do you like, bro?
Everybody else. Ohio State wide receivers.
Like the showboats. That's what it is.
Right. Well, no. Alabama, to me, this is, if you're an Alabama fan, roll tide, whatever. But this is my beef with Alabama. Alabama, before, I don't know, Derrick Henry will say, because I can't think about right now who was in what draft class, but everybody was all SEC. Everybody was consensus All-American. Everybody was, and then what did they do in the NFL? Nothing.
I mean, Chris Olave just got the bag.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm talking about Alabama back then. Okay. Oklahoma, Ohio State now with Olave and Smith and Harrison and Wilson. Those guys, yeah, they're shifting the paradigm with Emeka Egbuka and even Carnell Tate right now. They're trying to shift the paradigm. But when you look at Ohio State, what do they say about Arvell Reese? What do they say about Sonny Styles? What do they say about Sonny Styles' little brother? What do they say about Caden Curry? These guys were good in college. That's where they think the buck stops. They think Arvell Reese overrated. They think Sonny Styles overrated. They're physical specimens, but they don't see them translating. So where I am now with Ohio State is a little different because they have kind of shifted paradigm in certain positions. But Alabama, after Nick Saban, okay, fine. They're getting better. But when Saban was there, it was like Belichick. Everybody's in the system. You're going to go to the pros and get yourself a bag and then disappear. Trent Richardson, people like that, disappear. So for me, I was like, I'm tired of hearing they're glossing especially Big Ten at the time. Penn State, Linebacker University, Iowa, because we used to always get those Chris Kelsey types, those big lumbering dudes that had no speed, no kind of quickness. They were just strong, and I was tired of that. And it was kind of a boring brand of football. So when I now watch them, I have to shift how I think, which I will do, especially when you look at how Jeremiah Smith has transitioned the whole Ohio State landscape. Alabama now with these players, with Williams and I guess Judy's and people like that. We now are like, oh snap, they do got people coming out of here. Yeah. But then look at Mac Jones. Then look at at these kind of guys. You're like I said, another one on my list. It was the truth there, but what do you do now? Now he's a laughing stock.
Daquan's on your side. They have never won in Buffalo.
Right. So yeah, but that's the thing that gets me. But I will shift, and I will give him someone's rude. It's not me, is it? Maybe it's me because it's Maxwell Harrison, not IGB. It is me. I sat there, and it's funny because I put in Discord. My friend said, "Were you the guy that like IGB?" I said, "Who are you talking?" I took it as offensive. I said, "Did you not watch the draft show?" I lost my skull.
Wait a second, who the talking to?
Right. Like we're in the slap box. They talking about me. So I'm like, so at work, I go for like 2 hours trying to find this clip of when he got drafted. I didn't know where because the transcript with the 5-hour show, the transcript wasn't there. So I had to like literally try to splice it. And I was on Wikipedia, like, oh, we're talking about this guy, so it must be before that, but it's not. So when I found it, I said, vindication, because I lost my skull when they drafted IGB. I drank my beer. I had another beer. I think I had to go to the bathroom after that, and I came back and just had my head in my hand a whole 10, 15 minutes after the pick. I had nothing else.
How did it feel when you saw the clip that I put in our Discord chat? Of my guy, Caden Prather.
Oh,
did you see that?
Yeah.
did it warm your heart?
Yeah, a little bit.
Gave you some fuzzies?
Yeah, a little bit fuzzies.
Okay, so I keep thinking about that now that I know you hate IGB so much. I think it's hilarious the stuff that we used to hear from McDermott about. It's hard to make this team and this and that and the other thing. And the Bills have needed receivers for decades now because of the mindset of Sean McDermott. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on him. I don't think he was fond of the wide receiver mentality.
Right.
He most times wide receivers are out there on an island, and so that's just how they operate. It's how they are. But anyway, what we're talking about here, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's a video of Caden Prather in college running a post. It's like a 10-yard post or something like that. And IGB is like literally just hanging IGB might as well have just like climbed onto his hip and held his shoulder entire way into the end zone. And Caden Prather still jumps up and catches the ball with one hand over IGB and scores a touchdown.
That's what I was watching over and over again. I literally was watching Ohio State because I went to see Jeremiah Smith. I had this man crush on him after the year he had the year previous when he was with whoever it was. I forget now, but I'm watching this Ohio State game. I'm like, oh man, who is this number one dude? He's getting victimized. Ig Benison, man, it sucks to be him. I feel bad for him. I feel real bad for him. And then fast forward to April.
Second round pick.
Right.
Ohio State corner.
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Davison Igbinosin.
I was like, him? Oh, God. Then I meet the dude. He's like super nice. I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, God. How do I handle this?
I can't hate you, but I can't love you either.
Right. Oh, God. How do I do this? I can't reconcile this. Joey has said IGB is better than Dane Jackson. Well,
hey, okay. I think I would take that. I think that's right. I think that's right. For a second round draft pick, that better be right. That better be right. There's no way around that not being right. Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair
man.
enough.
But yeah, honestly, when you're thinking about taking a cornerback right after taking a cornerback the year previous in the first round, you're like, okay, I need somebody with some traits. And there were a lot of guys with traits. And at the time you're thinking about I like Kilgore. I like Kilgore a lot at the time. And I'm like, we got this guy. And now Kilgore was a safety / cornerback. And I'm like, well, if we get IGB this high, we're not going to get any of the guys I want at cornerback. We're not getting any of these guys I want. And I like the guy from Tennessee that tore his ACL and needed a season off or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, you got Max Harrison, you got Benford, go get Trey White and let this dude heal. And he's in your system. This dude was supposed to be the number one cornerback. He just got hurt. Dane's catching hella strays.
That's what made me laugh.
Hella strays. But yeah, like Albert said, the second draft pick we moved up for. That's tough. We had to have IGB. That's tough.
Yeah, that's what it is. Quick fire question.
Stay with me now.
So what do you think of all this protection of Tyler Bass that's going on right now? Do you think it's worth all of this to keep, like, literally just to keep Tyler Bass, or should we have already just cut bait by now?
I mean, honestly, I don't. Tyler Bass is like, it goes with how I feel about Camp.
He's a kicker. I think Sal. This is how desperate they get for news. No, it was Pat Moran. He's talking about how he saw Tommy Doman and Mitch Wisnowski practicing holding kicks. And he said that Doman looks a lot better. I'm like, man, who cares? I don't care. And Tyler Bass is nowhere near. Tommy Doman's on the bubble for holding the ball.
He's like him and Reed Ferguson are like the same scenario. Like you're talking about a guy we're reporting holding. The kicker's not even in sight. Tyler Bass isn't even there. He's not kicking anything, and we're talking about holding. I'm like, is this what we've come down to at the competition? Who's a better punter? That's what I want to know. Who's a better punter?
Yeah.
We can find somebody to hold. Shane Bussell can hold. You guys want to give him a game check? Let him do that. He's not going to see the field as a quarterback. He better not. Hell, Kyle Allen better not see the field as a quarterback. He better not. That dude.
Yeah.
That dude. I won't say because mom's probably eating, but that dude is trash juice. Trash juice.
We got the trophy down
there.
If you want to pull that out.
No, I don't want to cook. See, I'm trying to. I don't know.
There probably are a contingent of people eating dinner.
People might be eating. I don't want to think about that. So but the thing is, Tyler Bass boots have lost their touch. He has no competition. So what? He'll be fine. I mean, he's gonna be whatever. He's wearing 16 now. Rebirth. Yeah. Whatever.
Sal. I think Sal mentioned this morning that he is kicking. So Tyler is kicking. We're just not seeing it. Okay, sure.
What do you mean, Albert? He said, did you see Josh Allen say California is his home and that's why he should play a quarterback for the Olympic flag football team? I heard my viewpoint on him. Not going to lie, the football season is 8 months out of 12. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't care. Just do what you're supposed to do in the field on Sundays and do whatever do what you want. I mean, he's got guys gyrating his hips in golf practice. This is what we got going on.
I think we're about 3 years out from realistically looking at Josh in any kind of side-eye way. And there might be a contingent of fans that are thinking that's probably more like 5 to 7 years out.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I think if we do reach a point where Josh has not won a Super Bowl over the next, let's just say if he hasn't won a Super Bowl by age 33,
mm-hmm.
Could you blame him for wanting to go somewhere and chase a ring before he stayed here? It's essentially the LeBron conversation.
You get one transfer. LeBron's on like 5.
Right. Don't be Aaron Rodgers now, please.
I'm gonna get a ring here. I'm gonna get a ring here. I'm gonna get a ring there. I'm gonna get a ring there.
Exactly. Don't be that. But I mean, I think it is what it is. All right. So,
we had to get to your topic. What was it? We didn't even get to that.
Yeah. So real quick,
it ain't gonna be real quick unless you got to go right now. We got to get to your topic.
Okay.
So
I don't want to take too long. I want to get us back used to doing 2 hours. But
I was gonna say because this is the last Monday I can go over my time back to hell.
See,
that's why they be screwing with me. So I'm trying to give y'all everything I'm trying to give y'all.
Got to train that brain.
That's it. Trying to give you everything I'm trying to give y'all.
Yes, I did. I do not appreciate anything about the way he has operated his career in terms of building super teams, going team to team, and just bouncing around the league, chasing a ring.
That's the thing. See, that's the thing. Like you said, Bill, he ain't even building. He's just jumping aboard.
Yeah,
because Jaylen Brown was there already. Embiid, well, whatever. Tyrese Maxey was there.
Yep.
It's like, I'm 42. I'm gonna go over there. No.
Right.
If he wanted to do it right, he should have went to Cleveland and say, you know what?
Thank you,
Kyrie, AD, the two guys that they say he went to play with, come with me. Let's do this one more time.
Yeah,
I'd have respected that. But every time
you still got Donovan too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's your starting five right there.
Yep.
Boom. Simple.
But no, I got to go over there. I wanted to join Steph Curry, but then that wouldn't be a good look for me. So I'm going to go ahead. Is that a good look to go to Philly?
None of it has ever been a good look since he left Cleveland. Period.
No.
None of it has ever been. That's why I call him that. Respectfully. Okay, so there's a podcast called Paganetti and Underhill, and I don't know. I don't remember which of the two I'm referring to, but one of those guys.
This works. I've never heard of either one of them.
Okay.
Yes.
One of those guys is an analytics guy that works for NFL teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we think of the, advanced stats analytics team that Sean McDermott mentioned when he came here and all that, like he's one of those guys. Okay. So he does the, on 3rd and 5, this is the, these are the percentages of what you should do. Like that's his job. He's won a Super Bowl in the NFL before. I don't remember if it was with the Seahawks or the Saints, one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he mentioned that NFL teams actually do look at Madden ratings. And it blew my mind.
That's insane.
I thought it was the greatest piece of news I'd ever heard in my entire life. You mean to tell me?
Because you'll say, ha, I told y'all.
I knew it.
I've been playing this game for 30 years for a reason.
In my notes here, I said, now we know why Madden rankings matter to the NFL players so much. Now we know why. Because they know that scouting departments look at some of that stuff. And here's what the analytics guy said. He said specifically, he said NFL scouting departments don't have enough time to scout every player, right? And that also got me thinking about the Blesto program, which is Bears, Lions, Eagles, and Steelers. Those 4 teams originally created this scouting company that scouts every college player that's in their junior year going into their senior year, so that there's a foundation of data for NFL teams to consume for their scouting departments, right? So essentially that's why these NFL teams scouting departments go to Blesto, or they go to the Madden ratings, or they even go to PFF, bro. Right? Wherever there's a gap in their scouting, they go to these sites, right? They go to these places. Why? Because they need to build up some data, some information, something tangible on these players and their history and what they can do before they look at the tape. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes they might see a guy and be like, who's that? Oh, I don't know. We didn't scout him. Oh, look it up. Okay, well, how fast is he? What does Madden say?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was extremely interesting to find that these NFL teams are really not as sophisticated as we thought. Like you would think, and you probably knew this, but because you're more familiar with what scouts do than I am, but it's kind of eye-opening that a multi-billion-dollar organization like the NFL and its employees, the franchise employees don't have enough time.
Yeah.
You can't hire enough people to make sure you cover all of this information. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's a little small criticism, but
the funny thing about this, and this is going to go back to my inadvertent support for the previous coach. I don't want to support in the sense of coming back, but this is what you're saying now is the main pushback I've had when everybody says, well, McDermott wanted the players. You think he had time to scout all these players?
Exactly.
You think he had time to know these guys in and out? Are you serious right now?
Exactly.
No. So you can't say that. So your point is very valid because it's common sense. Nobody has time to do all this.
Right. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and I think you're going to like this. The analytics guy also admitted that there are some GMs that believe their system is better than everyone else's and don't follow the same rules as other teams in abiding by these rankings, or sometimes even disregarding them for their own beliefs in rankings and ranking systems for draft data and free agency decisions. Who does that sound like to you, bro?
I don't know.
I heard that. I said, oh, Key is going to love this.
All I can think of is, what do you run? 4.6? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm glad he ran that 4.6. Right. Easy to get him now.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get him in the 5th.
We'll get him in the 5th now. Yes.
So right. See, Daquan, you got it. You already know.
You
already know. But again, isn't it interesting when these types of things get pushed out into the forefront from the dark? Mm-hmm. With like you and I do all the research that we do, and we call these things out and we talk about these things. And here's a guy who's in the league, won a Super Bowl with an NFL team, and is flat out telling you there are general managers that don't care about what other teams do. They want to do their own thing. Right. Oh, does that sound like?
Well, I don't know, but I know somebody likes kicking at doors.
Stay with me now.
So I like to say about that. I mean, I've heard this allegedly.
Like just imagine having the greatest quarterback in NFL history and not giving him enough to win a Super Bowl. DEFCON 5. DEFCON 5. Like you can't tell me you cannot tell me that this should not be punishable by death. Like, what are we talking? You can't. Come on, bro. Okay, I'll be serious. Because I'm trying to be respectable.
I wasn't ready for the horn.
Okay, sorry. Like, to me, it is egregiously bad when he's still getting you, huh?
Yeah, Nate keeps putting fuel on the fire.
What'd he say?
Is it 5? DEFCON 5? All the DEFCONs. Yep, there you go. We got to pay our quarterback as for being right.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of that? Yeah. The guy's good, and you got to pay him. Oh, I mean, he's compensation.
Jalen Hurts didn't get the bag. They didn't still figure that out. Like,
defense is nasty,
bro. I think they were talking about this on WGR. I think it was, isn't it Jalen Carter's contract? He's got like a $68 million dead void year or something like that.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Yeah,
at the end of his career in 2032. Mm-hmm. $68 million. They're ready to just eat that. And why? It doesn't matter because they won 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years.
We'll get at least one more.
Right. Mm-hmm. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of that, he's going to be what, like 32? So you could just extend him.
Right.
Push it on.
Exactly. And then guess what? If they find another franchise quarterback at that point, nobody's going to care about the dead cap hit because he's going to be on a rookie contract and they'll just build another team around him. Yep. Who cares? Like, this is why we make such a big deal about the moves that our team makes. Again, put the ball down and snap it. I'm a fan. I'm the loudest person in the house. You can probably hear me 3 blocks over when we do something good or bad in a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I put my heart on the line for this squad. But I don't want to be in tears happy like I was during 13 seconds and then have my heart ripped out my chest by the end of overtime.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that now. Like, you've already broken me. So let's fix that. Let's do what's necessary to fix it so that I don't have to continue to go through that. To me, I don't think it's a problem in asking for that.
Yeah. I mean, to Daquan's point, he said, to be fair, lots of good players didn't want to play under McDermott's micromanager McDermott.
Sorry.
I don't know who that is really, but I mean, I'm sure there are people that don't want to play under anybody. Like we've heard to your marketing point, we heard that there are people, Tim Graham reported, people inside the building that can't stand the way things are run now. They don't like how it's now. Post McDermott, they don't like, I think what did he say? He said something about how they're like moving the terminology away from Buffalo to Western New York to whatever.
Yeah,
it's the marketing thing that they're not pleased with. They think we're losing identity. Players like Deion Dawkins really like McDermott. He liked it, but it takes a different kind of player. Some players will like McDermott. Some players will hate Joe Brady, and it's a temperament thing. Like for me, I like a certain kind of boss. You like a certain kind of boss, which would be yourself. Some people like bosses that tell you. Like for me, if I'm doing my job, my day job, You want something done? Tell me what you want done. Don't just give me free reign. I mean, don't stand over and say, push the Q button, but say, I want this report by the end of the day. Bet, I got you.
Yep.
And that's how McDermott was. I want this to look like this. And that's the thing that people miss when they're looking at, the offense is run a certain way. You think Joe Brady has no say in the defense? I mean, are we saying that? Are we saying that Joe Brady said, I want my defense to do whatever? No, they sit in their alignment.
Yep.
They got the players that they like, and now they're going to run it back. It's just a different thing, than what it was before. It's just the opposite. Yeah. We're seeing all sorts of craziness, with CJ, GJ going and running amok with his 10-day stream that lasted all of 10 minutes. With these weird things we got. I don't know if you're keeping up with these streams where Deion Dawkins and Garner Johnson are playing bounce ball off the wall to the hoop. They're like doing this. They got hibachi night in Deion's room. They made a rookie bring his TV to Deion. Like, what's going on?
I don't know when Deion became part of the stream. Like, I thought I was going to be watching CJ GJ. Like, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, he's in, like, every video now. Like, you found out your boy was streaming. Now you all in it. Like, why didn't you just do your own stream?
This is like, and Laura knows because we talked about this. I think she knows what I'm going to say, but this is like in the WNBA. There's two women. Obviously, they prefer the company of their own kind. They call themselves the Stud Buds. And they go out and they do a stream. It's Natisha Heidemann and Courtney Williams.
Okay.
And they are studs.
Okay.
But they go out and they act like Deion Dawkins and CJGC are.
Really?
Oh, they're hilarious. And I put Laura onto them. I'm like, a stud, but she's like, oh, your buds, the studs. All right, yeah. Wow. But it's funny, and I don't mind it. But now you're not going to see the deserted Deion Dawkins anymore. For people that watch the show, you know what I mean. The deserted Deion Dawkins is PC, and I got to say this, I got to do that. Now you're hearing N-word, this, N-word, that. Yeah. I'm like, McDermott would have never. Now, see, when I see that, and you couple with Alec Anderson, what he said, the uncle that gives you beer when you're 12 or whatever the hell he said, it's like, now it has to work, because if it doesn't work, it's going to make it look 10 times worse to people that's outside looking in. If this team isn't better than it was before, doesn't perform better than it was before, like, what the hell was Buffalo doing? Because they're losing it now. Because right now, we're all over the place because you got guys saying that, it's fun now. We're having a ball. Well, if you're having a ball and you're losing, they're like, well, maybe you needed some structure. Well, how do you bring that back? Joe Brady said, maybe he wasn't the best one to talk, but they're going to talk.
Yeah.
Because they feel they have the ability to now. As opposed to under McDermott, they're like, I know what I have to say, or else I'm going to be Keon Coleman. And he didn't even say anything, but it's like, I normally bench if I say the wrong thing or if I do the wrong thing, second, third.
Right.
It's a regimen. It's a structure because he didn't trust his team. Joe Brady's like, I'm trying to connect in a different way, which is fine. But I'm telling you right now, I know Josh Allen snitched on CJ I know it. Because if you look at that video where he was in the locker room and he was on the phone and Josh Pop's like, what you got going on over here? He's like peeking in, a little stream, okay. And he disappears. And next thing you know, hey, not here, man. Not here. Oh, you snitch.
Yeah, Rob, just about to say that. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. Josh is on it.
What's going on over there? Got a little situation. And I'm crying. But yeah, Jay, I mean, Deion's been streaming, but you don't see it to this degree. You feel like you're let in. And to Dorothy's point in Discord, she's like, we should have had the what's it called? This show this year. HBO.
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks this year. Yeah. Because it would have been must see TV this year.
Yes.
And nothing
especially
really
with those two. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nothing of note would have been going on, but you got these two dudes. Oh yeah, and you had Deion Dawkins taking Andre Reed on drifting. You got this kind of if the Bills win. Oh, you know,
Keys would be streaming from the shower, bro. Streaming from the shower, streaming on the toilet, streaming during the shave. Hey, this is what happened today.
Look here, y'all. See what? I ain't got long, but I'm gonna tell you this. But yeah, Laura, you know. See, Laura can't deny it. She started finding stud butt stuff. She's like, yo, they're hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I'm good with them, being what they are. But you got to walk the expectation now. If the team is lax, if the team is allowed to let their hair down, the expectation is heightened, especially from where you were.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at why did we fire McDermott, the only reason we fired McDermott because we couldn't go to the hump. So when people say, like we said, with 31 teams that don't make the Super Bowl, don't win the Super Bowl, they're failures. No, some teams just want to have a winning season. Some teams just want to make the playoffs. Some teams just want to beat this certain team. Yeah. The Bills have been to the promised land twice, not Super Bowl, but they've been to the AFC Championship twice, and they just couldn't get over that. So that's the hump. Don't let anybody tell you nothing. There's nothing else is a hump. Nothing else is a hump. Not the defense, not the coaching, nothing else.
Oh, okay. All right. So a couple of comments here I want to get to. D says, in your own words, Aramis, it's only 7 teams that won a Super Bowl and only 14 teams that won that with multiple Super Bowl wins. What D's talking about is some research that I did a month ago, 2 months ago.
About that, yeah.
And that was kind of my point on teams figuring out how to win championships, right? And even though the Bills went to 4 in a row, when they went to their second one, you got the sense that they had figured out the formula to getting to a Super Bowl, right? They started to, add players to their team. They figured out the types of players they needed. They figured out the right roles for these guys, and they had a head coach that could manage all of it. And they got to a Super Bowl 4 years in a row. You can even take that to what the Rams did back in 2022 when they was it 2022? I think it was when they won their Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. They scrambled a bunch of players. They traded for Von Miller halfway through the season. They signed OBJ. I mean, it's not a coincidence that only 17 of all 32 NFL teams have won a Super Bowl, and of those 17 teams, only 14 of them have won multiple Super Bowls. That means 3 teams figured out how to do it once, right? I don't remember. Was it Seahawks, Raiders, and I don't remember who might be Bears. Seahawks, Raiders, Bears. I think might be the no. I don't think it's Bears. No, actually, it might be Bears because they lost to the Colts in the Super Bowl. Okay, but anyway, I'm saying all that to say to bring that back to what we're talking about today. We want the Bills to have figured out what that formula is for us under Josh Allen, right? Mm-hmm. So that no matter what happens with the head coach, no matter what happens with the defensive coach, because here's the other part of this. As much as we're, kind of emphasizing the importance of getting the defense figured out and how good is it going to be and all that kind of stuff, the other part of the frustration is, well, if Jim Leonard actually turns out to be the next Rex Ryan, or the next, Mike McDonald, or the next, name your great defensive coordinator that becomes a head coach, then what? We got to have somebody else come in and, see what you can do with these players that may or may not fit the scheme that you like to run. Mm-hmm. Figure that out. Mm-hmm. Then we'll be right back here again trying to figure this thing out. And I know those of you who've been listening to us for a while are going to say, well, you were saying the same thing about offense. Yes. And the reason why the defense, in my mind, this year may not matter as much is because you still have Josh Allen. And you should be putting more importance on putting as much as you can around that guy so that he can go out and dominate. If he can't dominate, then you need your defense to step up. Right? Think about really consider the 13 seconds game for a minute. Bills went back and forth. They score, we score. They score, we score. What defense?
It was
right. We had the number 1 defense in that game that season. The number 1 ranked defense that season. Did it matter in that game? No. Not at all. Right? The only time it mattered, and this is my point, the only time it mattered was in 13 seconds. That's it. You needed a defense to be able to play good defense and get a stop within 13 seconds, and you win the game. Right? So this defense that Jim Leonard is putting forth, can you give us 13 seconds worth of good defense when we absolutely need it? Because every other situation, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Josh Allen is going to be able to take what he has and go score a touchdown. Can he do that with this offense that we have now? That's the question we need answered. If this is the 2020, 2021 offense, then sure, we don't need to put as much emphasis and importance on the Mint defense and what these guys are doing. Mm-hmm. Let them make their plays when they come. But if we get this defense down to 13 seconds, they better be able to protect. That's where Jim Leonhard comes into play, because Steve Spagnuolo's been that guy for the Chiefs. Like I just told everybody today, they won a Super Bowl with the 26th ranked rush defense. Spags figured it out in the Super Bowl. Right? So, I mean, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, to Albert's question, he said, does Joe Brady have a say in the defense? He's an offensive play caller and the first-time head coach. A lot on his plate to carry right now. Yeah, he definitely has something to do. It's his team. It's all his team. So I'm not saying he's calling the defense. I'm not saying that he's doing the installs, but he is signing off on what they're going to be looking like on when they put the weekly game plan together.
Yeah. This is a point that people really don't like to hear around here, but is very true. Daquan says, my good friend is Rob Moore.
Ex-New York Jets wide receiver and Bills receiver coach. Yeah.
He advised me that even after we were winning, people did not want to come here until their career was over. So if you haven't read the Tyler Dunn report by now, shame on you. And it's really no point now because Sean McDermott is out of here.
I'll let you tell me about it. You told me about
it, right. But that was a big part of the reason. You had a head coach that was very meticulous in what he demanded in terms of practice atmosphere, practice tendencies. The reason there's such an emphasis now with Joe Brady on everybody's coming in an hour early and leaving an hour earlier and all that kind of stuff, because Sean McDermott didn't give a damn. Like if you read the Tyler Dunn report, the second the wide receivers all got together and got Chad Hall a truck, Sean McDermott extended the hours of work by an hour, making people come in an hour earlier, even though he knew Chad Hall had just had a baby. So Sean McDermott really, he was hard nosed. Football has to be your life. And if I see that there's anything else that's a close second, I'm gonna cut it off. Right. So I think there is a big difference in the atmosphere now. And I do think it's important to kind of get that out there, because that's going to be important for the years after this one, if the Bills are successful with this. Like, imagine if we go to the AFC Championship again, and you know what? Let's go a step further, because I think it would take this. Let's say the Bills get to the Super Bowl and lose. I'm sorry, I don't want that to happen.
If they do, I'm like, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's still a step up. It's still a step up.
We lost. Like this one when he was like 3. Yeah, I lose. Like
he's talking about Junie.
She was like, yeah, I lose. Like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not how this works. We don't rejoice in that, but whatever.
He was 3 and very confused at the time.
He was excited. Go ahead, little man.
Yeah, but he did say that. You're right. Great memory. But if the Bills got to a Super Bowl and lost, like it's still a step up. And I think at that point it would show that with this new culture, with this players first type of mentality, you can attract other players here, because now it's an atmosphere that's conducive to them being able to come out, perform, make more money, or at least earn more money on their next contract with another team. So you might be able to get more players here on 1-year contracts and things like that. Yeah. Like that stuff matters in the NFL. Yeah. It just does. And you can't put Buffalo in a bubble and just say, nope, blue collar, hard working, hard nose, hard hat, everything. Everybody else just stay over there. If you're not for us, you're not for us.
Right.
You're not going to get anywhere like that.
Yeah, Bulldog went off on that. He hated that point. He hated that point. He was like, that's borderline insulting. Right? He said, I'm not blue collar. I do this. I never worked construction. What are you talking to? Yeah. I'm like, dang, dude, relax.
Yeah, he was not having it. He was not having it. Joey says, I'm convinced the Buffalo Bills gave me high blood pressure because they can't seem to get the job done. Distress, pain, and anguish. 30 years of being a Bills fan. Yeah. I think what's so different about this era of football is even when you had Jim Kelly, he was one of, 7 great quarterbacks in that era. Right. And 7 is debatable. It might be more like 4 or 5. Right. He's part of that group of great quarterbacks in that era. But you weren't saying, man, Jim Kelly is the most talented, the best this. You weren't saying that about Jim Kelly.
Not with a straight face.
No, you couldn't.
No.
You couldn't. But we are saying that about Josh Allen. We're saying that Josh Allen is the best of his era right now. Right? In terms of from an objective standpoint, in terms of talent, capability, right? Because it's not just about what the numbers he's put forth, right? If you make it about numbers, it's got to be a team thing. Mm-hmm. It has to be. So if we're talking about what the player himself is capable of doing, there's never been a quarterback like Josh Allen in the history of football, period.
Right.
A guy that is as big as he is, as strong as he is, can break tackles like he does, jump over a 6'4" linebacker, and still throw the ball for 90 yards in the air.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the point I'm trying to make with that is, as the Bills, you have to understand the moment. You have to understand where you are in your team build. You have to understand where you are in terms of the landscape of other teams around you. The previous 5 years before this year would have been the perfect time to capitalize on winning 3 Super Bowls, especially the last 2. The Chiefs have been terrible the last 2 years. The only team you've had to compete with realistically has been the Ravens.
Yeah.
That's it. You beat them, you're on the path to the Super Bowl. You let Denver be in your way. You gave Denver enough time to get in your way.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Because Denver, realistically, Denver was not there. We played Denver in the playoffs and scraped them here the year before in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like you could you played that team and you beat that team badly here, right? Who got in your way that year in 2023? It was the Chiefs in the divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that everybody knows that Chiefs team had no business winning. They had no business even getting to the Super Bowl. So much so that they got their cheeks taken by the Eagles.
Press play.
I'll say it. I don't care.
It's all right. Junie would not be pleased.
You got a comment?
I got a couple. Yeah,
okay.
He said players come to the system, the coach that get them paid. End of story. And a GM who doesn't manage the cap in a way that he's top 10 and dead cap. Hashtag Bean Island. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Are you gonna? Players would come to Buffalo if there was an incentive.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get paid market value for a team that's not gonna get me another contract. Or I got to go to you. You got to overpay me because I'm not going to go anywhere else and get a contract that's suiting to what I can do. And Buffalo and McDermott was the major issue with that, with regards to anybody in their talent evaluation, the ability to be evaluated, we'll say, by other teams, because it was just a boring defense. Offensively, after Daywall, what was anybody on offense? James Cook got lowballed. Stephon Diggs is out of here. Then after that, who are we talking about? There's really nobody else to really speak of. We don't have anybody that's like, yo, I'm worried about losing. Was anybody worried about losing Shakir? Was anybody worried about was anybody worried about Kincaid? Knox? No. We don't have those players like, oh man, if he leaves, we're screwed, because Josh ain't going nowhere. Cook just resigned. After that, you're like, next man up, Keon Coleman, whatever. Hartman, whatever. Shavers, whatever. White Steve, whatever. But it's like Damori Macklin, whatever. It's like when like Steve said, when you can afford to pay somebody and there's an incentive to come here because you're gonna perform at a level to get paid.
Yep.
You're gonna go there.
Exactly. Why
do you think players go to the Jets and be like, all right, cool? The Jets have sucked forever. They can't even keep their GM.
But I'm in a big market. I'm gonna get on the field, so give me an opportunity.
I'll take this ugly green helmet I will put it on and wear it with pride because I'm getting paid.
That's it.
So I mean, it's a slippery slope. It's not as easy as saying that players just didn't win, because most of the time when you go to a job, you don't like your boss. Are you gonna get me my ring? Because if you're gonna get me my ring, I don't have to like you, but I have to believe in you.
Yeah.
And if they don't believe in him, that's another story. Let's see. We had a new B. I was going to give him a chance to delete this, but he didn't. So, Jamal Roscoe, you're on deck, buddy.
Yeah, you in there now. Says, would you offer Walker for Vita? And plus, I think Benford going to struggle in this defense.
I
stay with me now.
He don't know. It's okay. We'll give somebody your phone number. Be ready.
He already my brother. He's already my brother.
We'll give him somebody's phone number. Be ready. Cause she gonna call you. Oh boy, she gonna call you. But no. Let's see. Would I offer Walker for Vita? No, I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't. As enticing as Vita Vea is, 32 years old with that kind of cap implication and Walker up and coming rookie contract. I think Walker's going to be a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Well, when we're talking about Benford, I just don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in man, in zone. Hell yeah, give me Benford.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's got to show me something. And last year he struggled mightily because McDermott tried to go to man a lot more because he wanted to blitz because he said it ain't working. We got to blitz, and by blitzing you got to go man, and it was just a tire fire. So maybe in a different scheme. Maybe getting used to it in training camp. Maybe when they we talked about earlier in the show where you put people in positions that they may never be in a game. Maybe they're forcing Benford on an island more. Who knows? Maybe they're giving him reps in practice. Does he have the skill set for it? Remains to be seen. I'm not ready to say no because I do think he's a good player. I just don't know that he should be a lock at number one just yet.
It's a very nice job you did there of defending your boy.
He might be my cousin. I don't know.
I truly think I don't like Benford in this defense. Now they
take the last in this defense. Just say it.
I don't like Benford.
There it is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Cut to the chase.
No, you know why? Because I watched us employ corners like Antoine Winfield, Nate Clements. I know you hated Stephon Gilmore, but he was in the wrong type of defense. Yeah. He went to the Patriots and became the best corner in the NFL. So it's not like the Bills haven't had good corners that I can point to and say, that's a complete number one corner. That's the kind of guy I want. Even Terrence McGee wasn't a number one corner. Like, in my opinion, he was a better zone corner than man corner. He's too small to play true man.
Well, you got on my nerves too.
Right. So it's again, we've seen the Bills, put players out of position and kind of depend on them because they had to, because there just wasn't a better option. Mm-hmm. And listen, Benford fits the culture of the team. He's a great team guy. When the ball comes to him, he catches it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm trying to be respectful. I like the guy. I like the guy, but I don't like him as this number one corner that people are, trying to put him on top 10 lists and stuff like that. That was damn near 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and those are zone numbers.
Right.
Like, let's not pretend like he didn't have those numbers because of a specific scheme.
Yeah. If you're saying he's a top 10 zone corner, fine.
Absolutely.
Fine.
Right.
Top 5 probably.
Because at that point, Jalen Johnson from the Bears is going to be number one on that list.
And then Benford's like 4.
I have no problem with that.
Right.
James Bradbury was the same type of guy.
You got to qualify it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as we've seen, those kind of guys outside of the scheme that made their name aren't really that great.
Right.
Josh Norman, outside of the scheme that he was in Carolina, not the same guy. We got to wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We saw Josh Norman go to Washington and not be the same guy at all.
Mm-hmm. We
saw Josh Norman come here and turn into a poster.
Basketball.
Yeah. So, I'm saying this to say, like, Benford is a good player, but if this defense puts him in a position to have to play man as much as he did last year, just cut it off now.
I think that's where we fall. I mean, I'm 100% in alignment there. I think when you're talking about a defense that's transitioning from cover 4, cover 3 to heavy zone to possible man, you have to evaluate your players. You really do. And where they hamstrung themselves is they just paid them. Yep, it's gonna happen. Luckily, she's probably shopping or something, so she's not here.
Real quick, for those of you who don't know, Dorothy is our most one of our most beloved sisters in our Discord chat, who claims that Christian Benford is her son.
Yep.
As well as Josh Allen. Those are her two sons.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't even do it. You don't want no problem.
Yeah, don't test her when it comes to those two people. Those two players on the team. If you got anything negative to say, she damn near slits throats in this
And
piece.
you can't say anything positive about Ed Oliver or Greg Rousseau either.
Yeah, because she doesn't like them.
She doesn't like them because they get more respect than Benford, evidently.
Yes, absolutely.
I put them all in the same category as niche players, but I mean, she's not hearing that.
So basically, Dorothy is like Beetlejuice. You know, when you talk about Benford,
3 times it's a wrap.
So she pops up and wrecks house. There was another comment in here. Oh, okay, all right. So iRoll is
I did that because I'm like, I lost my mind. You didn't even see it. My insides melted.
iRoll, you going straight to hell for this one, bro.
Gasoline draws on. Gasoline draws on. No return. It's like when you're doing a PPP family, you ain't getting out. Door's locked. We snapped the handle off that door.
These guys a heart attack now. Watch this.
I was like, dude, look what I got. If y'all can see that, that's what I have. This is what iRoll did to me. I said, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. I said,
they do need depth. They need depth.
I think Ken is not busy. I think Ray is good too. We can strap them up. They got time to learn the system. Young and spry, 9-year-olds out there.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it, let's see. Senke said Trey made more impact plays than Benford with them bad ass hips. Sensei's another resident hater, okay? Sensei is another one that catches me off. He always catches me off guard. It's like no matter how bad it gets, he makes it worse.
If you want to spice up your day, like
Discord,
just hop in our Discord chat.
Discord, and it's gonna take you in places you've never been before.
Yeah, it. Oh my gosh!
You say Benford. You say Allen. Dorothy shows up. You say Trey White or DeMar Hamlin. Senke shows up.
Especially DeMar Hamlin. It's like you don't even have to say DeMar Hamlin. Right. He'll bring it up.
I didn't even want to do it. I'm like, I want to give him credit, but I don't want to hear it. I'm gonna be quiet in my own Discord.
Like I drive past Hamlin on the east side of Buffalo and Senke's in the Discord chat. I know what you just did.
Like,
bro.
Are you on Northland? Like, no. I've gotten up the whole east side of Buffalo based on Hamlin. Oh God. I mean, it's like in my own Discord, there's certain things I can't say. I'm like, do I need to fight today? Am I choosing violence? Because when CJ went down and Hamlin was first up, I was like, I'm not mentioning it. Not doing it. Nope. Not saying a thing. He got me like afraid of my own house.
Yeah.
That's right. Though. It's funny though. Difficult. Yeah, no, Laura said she's turning notifications off. Probably for the best.
All right. You got a couple in here from Steve?
Yeah. When I read this, I thought about it.
Okay.
He said the Bills like Marvel's movie, bringing back old characters for nostalgia feels, hoping fans ignore the mess it covers. Because I thought about it when I went to Endgame with y'all. And you know how much I love Marvel. Yeah. This is Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's where I am, but I don't even know if it's Marvel. I was going to make a point anyway.
I just love it.
See, y'all, you know, at the end, at this point, it's like 5 years later. Spoiler, don't care. But at the end, when everybody started appearing, T'Challa came out, and T's like, it's him. I'm like, but then that's when it's Trey White. Yeah, Trey's here. Shaq Thompson. Yeah, Shaq Thompson. Mr. Trubisky comes back. Yeah, familiarity. Like, I mean, that's Buffalo. Milano comes back to Buffalo. Watch what happens. Watch what happens if he comes back to Buffalo.
Yo, I'm fearful that might actually happen.
It probably will. It probably will.
How?
I don't know.
They're
gonna take him back together and put him out there.
I was just gonna say he can't play more than 3 games in a season.
Nah, that's fine.
Consecutively. Like if they spot him a week every other week or something like that, he might
load management. Yeah, no, but that's spot on. Yeah, to save the day. Even though they haven't done anything in 5 years, it's just a face, and that's the thing that makes me upset when I talk about McDermott. I talked about Bean and familiarity. I hate familiarity when you didn't win. I don't want to be familiar with this feeling. I don't want it. I mean, yeah, let's run it back. But are they going to help us get to the promised land? Are we stunning? What do you call him now? Eeyore, I guess you want to call him.
I'm actually okay with Eeyore.
I don't know if he's okay with it, but
he might not be.
Yeah, if he's not, then I'm not going to do it. But KOR, whatever, KEO, I'm sorry, or whatever. But
Keo.
Kior. But no, if you're stunning his growth, we'll put Milano out there again.
Yes.
If you're stunning my man from last year, what was his name? Jenkins, the linebacker, 48. He's now getting starting reps. He's starting over what's his name? Over Andreessen.
To Keontae or something?
Keontae Jenkins.
Yeah.
I loved him in preseason last year. He could ball, but he didn't make the team for special teams, I'm sure. But the thing is, you bring in Matt Milano, now you lose Keontae Jenkins again. But what do you want him for? He didn't make the team. Well, should he have? Could he have? Where does he fit now? Because the guy was flying all over the field. Go watch the preseason last year if you don't trust me. Go watch when he played. This is like Savers. You put him on the field. He made plays. He wasn't lost. To a lower degree, Jimmy Charlo. Do they fit? If they don't even come to my practice squad.
Yep.
But these are the questions I need answered. I don't need these guys lingering back and forth. Practice squad used to be a 2-year and out thing. You couldn't be here longer than 2 years.
Right.
That was it. Then you go bag groceries. You go play in the XFL. Go play over Europe. But now, familiarity. Let's just stash people. Nobody wants them.
Right.
You could just let them sit out there. Nobody's going to get them. They'll be there. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a way of thinking, a backwards way of thinking. It's I could see if it was like, oh, man, Justin Jefferson somehow got to us and we got him on the team. And what do? I could see that. But these guys are just guys that are replaceable for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
KLB, no, I think Jeremy White called him KLB, KOR, or KEO, Eeyore, blah, blah.
Why, like his name is not that hard to say. Caleb E. Lamzor.
Even Nosen isn't hard to say either, but here we are.
Well, he calls himself IGB.
Well, he had the big chain. Why did you do that? Because nobody knows how to say it.
Right.
Same with me. Why you call me Key? Because my whole life.
Kashan?
My aunt calls me that.
Kashan?
Yes. 42 years. Kashan. Who are you talking to, ma'am? It ain't this guy. But
Kashan! Like sitting there, son of a
like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, no. He broke it. It's on me. It's on me.
It's just a button.
Oh. KEO initials, head scratch. Sample, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like Eli Mazora, whatever the case may be. I just don't want to call him Eeyore because somebody said, "What is the Eeyore?" Because he brings everybody down. Like, whoa. I don't know if he's gonna like that analogy. But yeah, no, before we finish, I wanted to say happy birthday to Marv Levy. We forgot.
Yeah. He's a what's the word? It's
a centurion.
No, he's not a centurion. I used to love that cartoon, by the way. If anybody is 42 years older and knows about the Centurions, holla at your boy, because I love that show. Especially the dude that had the Charles Bronson mustache. He was the coolest. Shut up.
Charles Bronson stash.
Stop laughing at me, Sam. What the AI fail? Laura said.
What you sound like me.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no. It's is this a centennial? Is he a centennial? Is that what it is? I gotta look this up now.
I gotta look it up.
Come on. Oh, my computer don't want to act right. Oh, there we go. What do you call? Somebody put it in the chat. Help us out. You need a response. Oh, from the chat. From Discord. I think that's what you're talking about. Okay, so while you
Centenarian.
Centenarian.
Yeah,
okay, there you go. Centenarian. All right. Happy birthday, Marv. 101
+1.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Did you hear what Jeremy White said? His uncle or grandma said their joke was his grandma died at 102.
Yeah, the banana thing.
Yeah. Don't buy on green bananas because you don't. Oh, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's cold, but it's real.
But then I think about, it's funny because I think about my uncle who passed at 98. He was mad as hell. He was 98. He was like, I'm still here. This is BS. Why? I'm going to make 100. I'm going to make 100. I don't want to make 100. He's like, I don't want to do this. I'm not trying to hit 100. Like,
why?
I have no idea.
Did he make it to 100?
No, he died 98. He was like, I know. So that's what I told my cousin. My cousin took it higher because he was real close to him. And Ken, he was like, I'm like, it's all right. He was pissed off. He was 98. Don't worry about it. Every year after 90, man, I'm trying to get up out of here.
like you're stuck in the house. I'm trying to get up out of here.
Trying to get up out of here. He was going shopping for himself. I mean, he wasn't even, he was there, but my cousin said he should go visit. He's like, he'd be sitting in the chair in the dark, like, I go, he's be
like one of these days.
One of these days I ain't gonna be here.
I'm gonna be in the upper room.
One of these days I'm not gonna be here. I promise you. You're gonna be here and I'm gonna be missing.
This is so bad. We're like laughing and joking, talking about death, bro. We can't do this.
You can only do it on this show. 431 people watching. Right, you guys are a witness to this. This is what the show gives you.
So real quick. I wanna read J Ham's comment in our Discord that I was gonna respond to in Discord. But I'll respond to it live here.
Yes, do it.
Just to give people context of what we were talking about. He did a lot of good research, and I really appreciate that because most people don't take the time to do this kind of work when they're formulating their opinions and stuff like that, which you and I are really big on. Like,
you guys suck because Brendan Bean said so. Dang.
Right. Like I get wanting to talk to people from the heart and being emotional about the team, but you can't expect people to identify with your logic if you're only coming from an emotional place.
Right.
You know, if what you're saying doesn't make logical sense or the numbers don't support it, how can you expect somebody to just, okay, well, you're right. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like at some point people are going to be like, you know what, just leave that person alone. But anyway.
Oh, that's what he's talking about. I need a response. He said, now.
Yeah. Before I get out of here.
You think y'all about to end this show? Hell no. Hell no. My question, go.
So J Ham's original concern was he said, how come you never talk about Pete Gwelly when it comes to the whole marketing thing? If anything, he's the main focal point of it, but you never really bring him up, especially when we talk about being in the organization as a whole. Okay. My response to that was, because I know people connected to Gwelly, he's not the problem. The type of marketing we've seen since Bean has been here way. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this from a distance. I'm getting older now. I'm opening the door. Door's open. I know. The type of marketing we've seen since Bean has been here has been way heavier than anything we saw during the drought. Gwelly has been here longer, so it can't be him. Right. Then J Ham says, what's really been bothering me about this whole marketing thing is that you're basically forcing two completely different jobs onto Bean. Look, Bean isn't even in my good graces right now either, but pushing the idea that everything he does is focused on marketing can look a little unfair in my opinion. Right. And then I think his response after that was really, really good. He said, I get where you're coming from, especially with you knowing people around Gwelly. I definitely see your point. But then he goes on, he looked it up, right? He said, I just looked up the career backgrounds a little to see where you were coming from on the marketing side. From what I've seen, being started as a media relations intern in 98, I think you had some information on what his marketing experience was with the Panthers.
Yeah, he was in journalism and he had a marketing background. So when he became the assistant GM, he was not overseeing, but he was working with the marketing team pretty heavily. That was his thing.
All right. Excuse me. So then J Ham goes on to say, he moved straight into scouting and football ops in 1999, spending 18 years climbing the football ladder in Carolina before we got him here. I'm really not sure where you get that from, because even on his Wikipedia, he wasn't with the Carolina Panthers for 18 years. I definitely wasn't that long. Mm-hmm. And then he says, excuse me, and with Gwelly, his title before us getting him to Buffalo was Chief Marketing and Sales Officer with the Hornets, excuse me, and Chief Business Officer with the Giants. That's why I see marketing and corporate drama as his area of responsibility, while Bean handles the football and Cat. So my response to that would be, first and foremost, while past production does give us an idea of what future production is going to be, past performance is not an end-all be-all. Right? What you've done in the past doesn't automatically mean that that's what you're doing in your current
that's what the disclaimer is. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results.
Right.
That's the disclaimer that you hear all the time.
So, with that being said, everything that I've heard about Pete Gwelly that I said in the Discord is he's the handshake guy. He's the guy that everybody goes to get connected with the Bills, whether it's getting into concessions, whether it's getting, sponsorship deals or anything like that. Like, that's the guy that you have to meet and shake hands with in order to make any of that stuff happen. And most times he's not directly, he's not conducting the business directly. He'll direct you to the department, but that's still the guy that has to approve all of that stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. But knowing the research that you did and the information that you came up with, Key, about what Bean's job was in Carolina as an assistant GM, I think based off of what we've seen here in Buffalo, knowing his relations with WGR, knowing that as soon as he became the president of football operations, that contract was gone. As soon as he became the president of football operations, they not only removed WGR as the voice of the Bills, but they severed ties altogether. Right? They pulled the airing of their games from, I forgot what station they pulled it from, but they moved it to 97 Rock again, where it used to be. Mm-hmm. And this was back during a drought. It used to be with 97 Rock, and then I think they moved it to same station, WGR 550 AM. Mm-hmm. I don't think all of that stuff is a coincidence,
right?
At all, right? And to be quite honest, what purpose would Pete Gwelly have to do that? Like, if Pete Gwelly is supposed to be the guy in charge of marketing and all that kind of stuff, wouldn't radio, social media relations, wouldn't all that stuff fit under his umbrella? If that's the case, what motivation would he have to sever ties with WGR? I think Brandon Beane has a lot more incentive to get rid of those guys that have been on the wide receiver train for the last 5 years, to get rid of those guys who have been bitching about, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To me, it just makes more sense. It's not just about what positions they held in their past. You have to look at the entire context of what's going on. So when I'm talking about Brandon Beane and everything surrounded around the language that the Bills are using, right, the Western New York stuff, like, he's president of football operations now. The Bills weren't talking like this last year. Like, just even last year, Pete Gwelly has been with the organization for many years now. Nobody was saying Western New York the whole time until Brandon Beane became president of football operations. Mighty fine coincidence, right? I'm the type of person that doesn't believe in coincidence. I've seen some serendipitous things happen, but those are anecdotes.
Yeah.
It's not the norm. Right? So that's how I arrive at it's got to be Brandon Beane. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that it's not possible that nobody else is involved in the marketing, right? It could be a situation where Pete Gwelly is aware of the marketing tactics and strategies, right? But again, from what I know of Pete Gwelly, that marketing for the status that Pete Gwelly has in Western New York, that guy ain't worried about marketing. His problems are way bigger than marketing right now. Way bigger. You're talking about multi-million-dollar deals with worldwide brands to help build the brand of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. This entire movement from everybody in the franchise, everybody, players included, It's about building the brand of the Buffalo Bills. How do you explain us going from being purchased for, what was it, 1.4 billion?
Yeah.
You know what their value is now? It's almost $7 billion.
Mm-hmm.
7. And that was from last year. I think it was like 5.4 the year before or something like that. It skyrocketed the second Josh Allen became a big deal.
Not a stadium.
Now a $2 billion stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All of this stuff happens at the timing that it does for a reason. You get PSLs at the height of the popularity of the Bills for a reason. It's the right time to get all of this stuff in. When we're reaching these conclusions, and we'll be mindful to say this kind of stuff. First and foremost, thank you, Laura. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I think Joey did something like that earlier.
Yeah, he gave us 100. I don't even know what that is. What are these jewels? I don't know what that is.
It's. I think that's something from Twitch.
Okay,
it might be gifted subs or something like that. I don't know.
I'm about to say, because you're hitting jewels, and Dalton Kincaid might need too.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know. It's got to be a Twitch thing. It's got to be something. But anyway, when you and I, Keys, when we do our research and we reach these conclusions, we'll be mindful to say, like, now I'm not 100% on this, but this is what the evidence points me to, right? And the other thing that we usually say is, if you don't have to take our word for it. You can do your own research. We encourage it. Appreciate that, Sam. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. What I don't want people to do is, I don't want people to watch this show and think that we're trying to definitively tell people just believe what we say and don't listen to anybody else. Like, if anything, don't listen to anybody. Do your own research.
And tell me what you got.
Right. And then let's have a conversation. Yep. The same way that J-Han did. Like, beautiful. That's how a conversation should go. Yep. But oftentimes what you and I get, whether it's people, in Discord or people on social media, whatever, everybody wants to debate us from their opinion. I'm not here to talk about your opinion, bro. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Like, part of the reason I'm building the analytics engine that I'm building is to eliminate the idea of opinion taking over a conversation. We should have a mind to get it right. And if we don't have it right, then have a mind to figure out how to get right. Even if that means putting our ego aside. Like, that's what life should be about in general. Like, we got to get it right. Forget what I think and what you think. We got to get it right. What's the right answer? Now, that can be different things for different people.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to how we approach this team and how the team approaches the game of football, there's several approaches that are right, and there's also many approaches that are wrong.
Yeah.
Well, how do you determine those? Which approaches frequently win Super Bowls? There's 14 approaches to winning Super Bowls that are proven. The reason I can say 14 is because 14 teams, 14 franchises have figured out how to win multiple Super Bowls. Nady, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. They're having a ball with these jewels now.
Yeah, they're doing this on purpose. Like, can y'all please stop? Like, stop with the jewels already.
Don't stop.
I don't even know what that means.
Don't stop, because it might be something good.
I don't know what that means. Stop it. I want you to stop it. Like, you're wasting your time. I have no idea what that means. I'm going to blow the horn anyways.
Somebody knows what it means. It's got to be good. I'm going to look it up. Now, if our show is no longer on the air,
go get your fault. Tired. Yeah, listen, my arm is already tired, so stop, please.
Spam it. No.
This is going to become a thing. I already know. People love rage baiting me for some reason. Maybe because I go crazy.
Do it too.
But yeah. So, but I'm just going to digress. I'm going to leave that there. Like, dude, be encouraged to do your own research. Like, stop. And if you don't have the time to do that, then figure out what the right questions are to ask somebody who, like us, who does do the research. And it doesn't have to be us. It could be, whoever else, right? I'm not going to say any names because, I mean, if it ain't built in Buffalo, it ain't good. But I think it really comes down to having a desire to get it right. I really, yo. Stop doing this.
Is that a Cinque?
What?
Is that a Cinque?
No, it's not a Cinque. What? Got the DEFCON 5 tonight on your own.
No.
Yeah, Slim. Yeah. What does that mean?
Who does this?
Who? Oh my God. Albert, yo, stop, bro. Okay, enough. We gotta get out of here.
Well, yeah, no.
Yo, stop, bro. Oh my God. I'm not doing this no more. Yo, do the close. We gotta read the thing. Stop. Please. No more jewels. Golly.
These jewels have been brought to you.
Don't add the jewels in there. Enough of people's jewels.
Hey, yo.
Keyshawn dying over here.
Oh, this is great.
Stop wasting your time.
You're not wasting your time because I got to figure out what you guys are giving us. Oh, did you know what Jadeveon Clowney's nickname is?
No.
According to Pro Football Reference, his name is Doodoo.
What?
His name is Doodoo. I don't know why. They said on the radio this morning, I'm like, that can't be right. So I went and looked it up. Yep, D-O-O. I said, well then.
D-O-O.
Yep, Doodoo. Jadeveon Clowney, I don't know.
I'm telling you right now, the Dookie Juice Trophy is coming out.
To Jadeveon Clowney.
If Jadeveon Clowney gets in and gets any kind of sack or if Jadeveon Clowney makes a play, the Dookie Juice Trophy will be on full display.
Dang it.
That following Monday.
Well, the Dookie Juice Award has been brought to you by High Mike High Tech. Unrelated to anything else, people, stop letting your old tech become furniture. That computer collecting dust, the TV holding up another TV, that console banging for one last adventure. High Mike High Tech is a fix-it wizard that you've been waiting for. Hit the link in the description. Let them know that PPP sent you, and don't forget to let them know McDermott wasn't, and never will be president.
All right. I think that is a signal for me to jump in here and hit us with the jump out the window music.
But you jump out the window with that case of Reese Tea. You got to jump out the window, but not until you get the case. Why? Because there's 4 ingredients. Let me tell you what they are.
I can't carry the case. I'm going to have to drink it.
You ever seen I'm going to get you, sucker?
Yes.
When they ran outside with the boom? Yeah. But don't do that with your case.
This glass bottles. You ain't running out. Well, I think they're moving to plastic.
They need to move the cases and only cases.
Yeah. Yo, Albert, bro. Stop, bro. Stop.
Now, Reese T would have helped Doc Kincaid where he got kneed earlier today. But too late. Next time, we won't do Gatorade. We'll do Reese. Why is it? Because it's one part refreshing, one part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you expect when there's only 4 ingredients. I don't drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What you doing? Head over to Reese. Get yourself a supply of the case. No more individuals unless you're brand new to the show. And we do have 444 people in there. Jay-Z, good number. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. What do I know? See for yourself. Head yourself over to Reese or with your local distributor and get yourself some of the good stuff. Let them know the Post Podium Podcast sent you.
All right. I got 90 seconds to get us out of here before somebody else brings their jewels into our conversation. Here we go. All right. If you're hearing that music, that means it's time for us to get out of here. I got 90 seconds to get us out. So here's what I need everybody to do. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a heart on whatever platform you're on. Smash a button. Do something that makes something go ding or something that makes it go
ring-a-ling-a-ling,
so that you can get notifications when we send notifications and put out new content. You will be apprised of that on the spot. All right. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. Everybody, stop with the daggone stuff. Stop.
It's for you, Cinque.
Stop. Floating heart. I don't even know what any of this means. The same gibberish with Jules.
I think it's
Jules and gibberish at the same time. What is happening right now?
I think it's supposed to be like an emoji that we're not seeing.
Oh, maybe.
I think that's what it is.
Fine. Floating heart. Yeah. Okay. This is. I can't take this. I gotta get out of here. Thank God, everybody. Yo,
we do this.
Joey.
We'll do this.
We'll
do that. How about? Is that good?
No, because I gotta celebrate it. I gotta put it up there. I have to. Thank you, Joey. I said sent heart. Okay. Thank you, bro. All right. Listen. This Friday we'll be back to 2 shows per week. Make sure you check us out live 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. This has been the Post Podium Podcast. Homie, all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
40 Keys.
Y'all have a great night. Peace.